Good, appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this is LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, Limited Time Offer Novels. And how are you all doing today? We are slightly later than usual, because I did not what if until now, and, I really wanted to discuss it with you. So I delayed the start of the stream so that I could finish watching What If. I hope you're all sufficiently humbled by this. Yes? No? Oh well. Doesn't matter. I am going to switch us over to Gamedec. Indeed, I did just see the episode. I what ifed. And yes, looks like they have. Well, let me switch over first of all. Hi there, you can see my face. Also, there's Gamedec. It says press any key on your screen, but yeah, there we go. Cool. I wanted my if. And yeah, alright. Looks like they are pulling all of the, or if not all of the episodes, at least some of the episodes together. Well, wouldn't that be fun and exciting to see? I think this is where we were left off. Yes, standing next to Thaddeus Oakley. Yeah. Thought there was a nice mirror of the dropping Black Widow down into the Soulstone here, in that they dropped Clint, so it was the reverse of the thing that happened in the movie. Sorry, spoilers. I really should have said. No, it's up there in the description. It says, "What if spoilers?" So yeah. Oh, you can't see that, but it says "Come and shop" up in the top corner, underneath my head. I assume that's Fruity Batty or Fruity whoever else it is saying things. And yeah. I don't know if that was Thunderbolt Ross we saw as in the General's uniform. I assume it was. I can't remember what he looked like in the previous episode. If it wasn't, if it was, huzzah, there was a tiny reference. I wonder if while Ultron was punching through realities, we got to one where everybody was teched up or not. I wonder if that was or New York was teched up. I wonder if that was the version of history where Killmonger did his thing. Probably not. Don't think they would have worked on that quickly. But, we saw one reality at least. It's interesting that they're going with the Power Stones actually being useful, because in the comic books they can only be used in the universe that they come from, the Infinity Stones. Yeah? They cannot be used in another portion of the multiverse. They just don't function. And that seemed to be the indication when we had Loki's thing. Because all of those Power Stones were just, oh, they're real neat, we use them as paperweights in the drawer. It might be that they're not usable outside of the time, or it might be that they weren't usable because the multiverse did not exist. The single timeline, the sacred timeline was the one that existed, so all of those other multiverses, whatever, all of those other places were erased from time, and so they had nowhere to pull their power from. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it at some point. Maybe they won't. Who knows? And does this mean they're going to be pulling together people from every possible timeline that we've seen already to form a new multiversal Avengers, so that they can have a new What If storyline down the way? The comic books had a similar thing where they had a group called the Exiles who went around saving various different multiverses like that, and they comprised of, I'm trying to remember, there was Sabretooth from the X-Men, or from one of the X-Men timelines where he was a good guy, and there was Blink in there, who was a mutant that was barely seen in one of the things. X-Men Apocalypse? No, not Apocalypse. It was in the Logan Goes Back in Time one. Whichever one that was. I forget. That was a mutant of Blink there in the future. Female, pinkish skin, jumped through portals. She wasn't in a Blink and You Miss It cameo. She was there for a little bit of time. It might have been, I don't know. Maybe it was a deleted scene. I can't remember. But it's been a while since I've seen that. So yeah, who knows what they're going to do with it. If they do turn it into the Exiles, that'll be an interesting thing they can have, because then they've got a core team of people that they can use who aren't necessarily big, high-paid actors like Chris Evans or Chris Pratt, who they can build on and work and have an actual continuing narrative. And they can have team dynamics and actually make people, like, building relationships with people week by week. Wouldn't that be fun? That created some discussion on Discord. It's like each raider is going to go with Rule of Cool. Yep. Days of Future Past. Thank you. That was the name of the one. Yep. Yeah, I saw that discussion previously. It's not my own wholly original thought about the using the Infinity Stones in their own universe. I've seen that on other places as well. But yeah, who knows? All right. You want to get caught up on what's going on as well? Time is not so convenient for West Coast. Well, I'm sorry, West Coast. This is where we are. Right. Let us bring up... Oh, professions. Why are you... Do you flash like that because I can buy Mindfluencer? I'm not. I'm waiting for Vox Populi. Anyway, let's look at our deductions, shall we? What is the main problem of our clients? We deduce that they're forced to collect loot boxes. We got all but one piece of data there, which is great. Now we've got suspects. Who is the sheriff? Who is Leanne, who's somebody who we met who was trying to get information on the sheriff? And who is the outlaw? The outlaw is being hunted by the sheriff. Now if we look at the outlaw, we see they're a new character in the game, they're hiding in the guild house, they're involved in shady business because they were with a player of such horrible repute that they were banned in Harvest Time. Chasing dreams. She defied her supervisors from the Orange Folk farm to visit other locations in the world. Okay, that's what it is. A farmer's new face. The outlaw is Camilla's new player character. Until recently, Camilla played on the Orange Folk farm. Yeah, we knew that. And she wants to escape from town. And the options we've got here: she's a victim, she's a perpetrator, she's a cheater. Yeah. Then we've got Leanne. She's the head of the Nanette Foundation. She is Nanette Doucette, I believe. The sheriff is in her crosshairs. She's trying to collect intel on the sheriff. Again, cheater, perpetrator, or victim. And then we have the sheriff. The sheriff is quick because the sheriff is cheating. He's using a speed boost cheat. Is he a flawless hero? The sheriff's reputation seems to be impeccable. He's got two men, Ack, the Orange Folk supervisor, and Mad Dog, who we've not met. And we've also got the talented Mr. Lebrowski. That's who he is, and he works as a manager for the Nanette Foundation. However, there have been suspicions raised that the sheriff is hunting down the outlaw because they escaped from the orange thing, rather than because they are a rule breaker or anything. And that seems highly likely right now. It seems the sheriff is the one who is forcing the people in the Orange Grove, in the Orange Dream Team, whatever they are, to work. So it might be the sheriff who is rotten, not the outlaw. The outlaw merely wants to escape town and get out of here and go see the sights elsewhere. And last time, the last thing we did was we fought off an attack from another Gamedec who was in the game. I don't know if we've got any information on that. Nope, there's Bliss, who's our person who does nothing. And then there was, yeah, our other Gamedec is not here, but we fought off an attack from a Gamedec who we found in there using our wits, cunning, and reading the technologies tab of the codex. No, not the technologies tag, the Virtualium one? Yeah, Virtualium. Here we are, Gamedec's arsenal, and it told us how to defeat them. Using instant bows, fast swords, slow halberds. You had to match the speed, you had to match the type, concentrated or dispersed, and then you tried to guess the speed as well. The faster it is, the less damage it deals. So you had to kind of... Do you think they're going to go really, really fast this time? In which case you also want to go fast? Or are they going to go slow? In which case, if you go faster than them, you're not going to block as much damage. And that was the exciting thing that we did last time. It was reasonably good, and there was things to use during the battle from my professions. So that was fun. And then here we are, Dr. Thaddeus Oakley is trying to find out how to get on the Midnight Express train to get out of here. So I think Thaddeus Oakley is working alongside the outlaw. So this is where we're going to pick up, talking to the outlaw. Oh, yes, indeed. How about I turn on that option, yeah? So I'm pretty sure I need to do it every time because I don't think it's up there. So wait 1 second while I just log that in. You should hold for a second while I copy and paste things over. There we go. Now we are done. Now we should be logged in. Hey there, person. Dr. Thaddeus Oakley. The man was standing still. A window with the stock market news was hovering in front of him. Dr. Oakley. He was level 1000, which is max level in the game. Title next to his name, Doctor. When I greeted him, the man looked at me, nodded, and went back to his diagrams. Alright. Do we ask what he does here when he's a doctor? Is that the smart thing? I hope that you are all caught up, and that you aren't suffering from horrible lag like last time. Previous occasions. Let's do the clap test. Alright, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Well, okay, one of you responded. And that was a 5-second thing, so there we go. 5 seconds. I will remember not to talk. Alright. So do we ask about the Doctor's title, which I suspect is a bought in-game thing? Do we ask what he does for number 2? Do we ask about the stock quotes? Or do we leave? Leave is not an option. 1, 2, or 3. Title. What does he do? Stock quotes. Vote now! Vote often. Vote early. Only one vote will count. That is to say, only one of your votes will count. Ask about stock quotes. Okay, that seems like a thing we could do. Oh, we also stole a golden apple. Which, I don't know whether that will come back to bite us in the ass, but it gave us 1,000. 1,000 of these lovely dollars. We need 5,000 to buy a gun. So there we go. Let's ask about stock quotes. I see that you follow the stock market. What's worth investing in? Don't ask. Every investor will say something different, and some will charge you for it. Traders flirt with disaster and crowd psychology. As far as my investments are concerned, it's no secret. Most of my portfolio consists of Blue Whale Interactive stocks. Last choices. BWI's rate has been on the rise for some time now, and I'm getting richer by the day. They released a new project under Director Haggis. That's because we didn't rat out his son, I'd guess. Good for us. Kind of. At least we made this person rich. They say this Haggis guy had some personal issues and things could have gone sideways, but luckily it all worked out. It seems that investing in stocks really is like tossing a coin. Alright. Well, at least we know that the vote works, but it seems like we're just going to go through these things. So let's ask about the doctor's title. Let's find out whether he's a doctor in the Relium or whether it's a bought title here. I noticed the doctor's title next to your name. Do you serve as the local physician? Give me a break. I'm not a doctor. I paid a small fortune for this title. I also have one in the Relium, PhD. Wasn't cheap either. When players see my title, they flock like vultures to beg for money. Like this gal here, Leanne, pretty name. That's why I remembered it. Oh, okay, so she's not as rich as she appears. Places such as High Rock, title is more of an inconvenience, but in more prestigious locations, it commands respect. Well, I've got a scalpel. I'm not sleeve either. We can immediately ask for money. Well, let's look at our deduction. Yeah, it's going to say Leanne is not Whale Hunt. She's looking for a rich player in harvest time. Ah, alright. And she's hitting on the sheriff. The sheriff works for you. Oh, you had never worked out that the two of you never worked out that you were in the same organization. Alright. I'm not going to ask for a vote here because I know people will ask me to ask for money. But we're not going to do that. We're going to ask what he does in Relium. I'm curious, what do you do in Relium? Well, are you a journalist or something? We can say we're a Gamedec, we can deny it, or we can say, hey, I'm a funky infotainer. This one, we will have a vote on. 1 for deny, 2 for infotainer, 3 for say you're a Gamedec. I mean, 2 of those things are true. I am an infotainer, and I am a Gamedec. Can I be an info Gamedec? Infotame deck. No, I'm not a journalist. I'm an infotame deck. I mean, all 3 of those things are actually true. Oh. At vote 2. Well, infotainer. Alright, we can tell them they're an infotainer. Hey, I'm an infotainer. I like to meet new people and introduce them to my viewers. I have nothing against networking, especially in Virtualia. It helps with business. Thanks, Dr. Oakley. I'm a biz patron. I offer advice and assets to businessmen in exchange for shares. I work in harvest time. It's way nicer than Viper. What's Viper? And way safer. Not many people know that. You gonna tell me what Viper is? Yeah, there we go. Viper. Name is a portmanteau of virtual presence. Oh, okay. Viper generates a simplified virtual environment which can be used instead of telesense calls. During a Viper call, the users meet via virtual reality to speak without witnesses. Unlike calls made via net menus or game chats, a Viper call guarantees privacy. In order to make a Viper call, all the users need a special chair that works as a temporary virtual chaos. And helmet combined. Oh, okay. So you don't have to sit in a couch and get all thingied up. Alright, that's fun. Alright. What do you do here? What do you do in High Rock? I thought this place was for beginners. Where should I be? Where I should be is Monument Valley. Super premium location in case you didn't know. Came here by accident and I want to get out. Oh. I'm waiting for the Midnight Express, the only way to leave this place. They blocked the road so that new players wouldn't get lost. They should add paid teleportation to the game. I'll suggest it to the devs. Oh, maybe you aren't working for the Outlaw. I don't know. I'm not going to ask you for money. Thanks very much, but you didn't really help me either. You're looking for a ticket. If I can find a ticket, I could give it to you for lots of money, probably, or to the other person, the outlaw who's trying to get out of here. Hey, there's Maya and Maya. How you doing? Welcome back, cowgirl. Leave. Alright, you got nothing else to tell me right now. Well, we were interrupted talking to the gravedigger, because that's when we noticed the game deck was behind us and used our tools to find them. Hello again, dear player. Yeah, that's my objective. Do the job for the sheriff. Identify the one responsible for the orange folks' problems and meet the game deck in the graveyard. Really? Collect clues and perform a deduction. To meet the game deck in the graveyard? That is something I don't remember. I mean, I remember saying we're going to meet in the graveyard, but... Okay, so I just need to make deductions? Or I'm still trying to find out who works with the outlaw. Let's ask about... Who are you in the Relium? Tell me what you do. What do you do in the real world, in Relium? I work for Electrobank. I mean, I'm living with my parents now. I'm on the old couch as we speak. I'm pregnant, so I'm on leave. Oh yes, you were the person who sold your apartment and everything else to get this job, weren't you? Because you wanted to get the achievement. And you got a divorce and all kinds of stuff. Not a great sign for people who are addicted to gaming. Congratulations on the pregnancy, Hank. I didn't realise you had a uterus. I mean, if that's how you want to phrase it, sure. Why, you are looking particularly fine today, with you walking around like that. I did not realize you had so many stiff bones inside you. You are being very flexible today. And you are hardly making any sort of sloshing sound, as you have loads of blood around you. Goh, how impressive you are. Well, I am a man, and I don't have a uterus. I mean, Cynthia, my beloved, doesn't consider her manly enough, which is why we got a divorce. They gave her the apartment, and she transferred the pregnancy to me. I don't quite understand how that works. I would like an explanation, please. What do you mean, your wife transferred the pregnancy to you? Man, dinosaurs walk among me. I am not organically pregnant. My boy is in an exuter, an external uterus, at the Whitetail Clinic. What? Okay, well, let's listen and learn more about this world that we find ourselves in. He feels my actual movement. He hears me like you would in a real uterus. He can sense light if I'm in the sun. I recently got an upgrade. Now my little bud can feel virtual movements in sensory worlds. He sees light, hears sounds, all of it. So he's going to come out just as addicted as you. That's great. So I'm lounging in harvest time, enjoying nature and the fresh air. It's good for my baby. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. That you would want to be in this area rather than in whatever place you are in the reality. Still, alright. Let's ask about the residents. So, can you tell me something about the residents of High Rock? No one dies, so I rarely get to speak to them. Besides, I don't like to gossip. I prefer to look at the sky. It's so beautiful. I think I'm going to insist. You sure you don't know anything? You stand here for days on end. You must see things others meet. Not meet. Of course you see things others meet. They see them as well, because they meet them. But you might see things that other players miss. Like players who aren't here to just play the game. Just a minute ago, my old friend was pestering me for stuff and got nothing. I haven't seen her in game for months. Now she shows up as Leanne. I think it was Leanne. And just starts convincing me to... Oh, never mind. Well, let's encourage you to finish, eh? Maybe it wasn't Leanne. Maybe it was somebody wearing a similar skin and pretending to be them. Come on, give me that juicy gossip. I'm an infotainer. I can use it to infotain my viewers. You know what? I interview a lot of people on camera. I've noticed they don't do well with secrets. Secret eats away at you from the inside, like a worm. It's best to get it out. It makes you feel better. Finish your story. I mean... No? I guess if you... I wouldn't have said like a worm. That is a horrible sort of thing to show. But okay, if that's the way you want to try and get it to worm the answer out of him, fine, fine. She was looking for whales, ones with real money. She wanted to find someone to bankroll her business in Relium. Yeah, we knew that, thanks. She was asking about cheap bank loans. I'm not Electrobank staff in here. I'm a gravedigger. I won't talk about work. I'm on leave. Well, okay, we know somebody who works for Electrobank. Oh no, we know somebody who... It's you. You work for Electrobank. To be honest, she looked desperate. Well, that is... cementing my deductions over here. I mean, I'm still going to go around and see what's going on. But I think you are a poor... victim. I think you're the I think the sheriff is the perpetrator, and I think... Oh, maybe, I don't know. Is she? I don't know. Maybe she's just a cheater. I don't know if I can select multiple people doing the same thing. Because I would say the outlaw was a victim as well. But maybe the outlaw is just a cheater, but they're not, really. I don't think she's responsible for the problems that the orange folk face. Oh, alright. Let's run around and find some more exciting information. You know what? Let's run down to the farm. Because it's been a day. Oh, yes, there are more pumpkins. I don't know how long it takes for pumpkins to form in here, but, you know, if I've got this right, I was going to say 3 loot boxes as well. If you haven't seen, let me show off all my exciting in-game items. Look, it's a tin bathtub, and a stagecoach, and a jug of some description. And look, there's also a dead tree over here. And of course we've got the tools that we bought, and the skull that we bought, and the little cat. Meow 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 cat. I think there was something over here. No, there was not. Look at all this space. Alright, well, open up my chests there, Wild Poppy. Open a chest. I'd like to open a chest. You've got a bag of gold coins. Alright, we'll go back. 92 gold coins. I'd like to open a chest. I got a bag of gold coins. 116. And then, I'd like to open this last chest. Yeehaw! You've received a rare chest with a unique item. What did we get? It's a cactus! A real Ciango cactus from the Sonoran Desert? Well, now you can feel like you're in the real Wild West, aren't you? Come back here when you get more chests. Will do. Let's go look at this delightful cactus. No? I thought I swore I heard it popping. Ah, it's over here! Ooh, admire the texture on that cactus. Isn't it great? Just put your hand out and feel it and... Ow! Oh, I pricked your finger. Why did you do that? Never mind. At least you know it's real now. And look, real blood on your finger when you're in the thing. Well, real sensation of blood on your finger dripping down. At least if you don't have to like put blood all over your mouse now. Because you're in a couch. Let's leave the farm. Well, oh, let's go back inside. And open for a private farm. Do you know why? Because I should have held off on my talk of what if. Because I need to make 5,000 gold in order to buy a gun. So, you know, we're going to be a bit shy on that right now. It's going to be a bit boring to watch me do this for a while. Well, maybe we can discuss other things. What else has been in the news that has been exciting to discuss? I guess mildly entertaining is the fact that Russell T Davies is coming back to Doctor Who. Does anybody have any opinions on that? Oh, I thought I planted another one. Damn it. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm tending towards the negative. Because, you know, you don't really need to revisit the thing that you've already done. I don't really want to see the same stuff again. Part of the point of Doctor Who is to get a new person to experience new things every time. Yeah? I might be wrong with that opinion. Might be in the minority. It might be really great for it. Although I will confess that I did not watch the tail end of the last series. So maybe it's a good thing they get a new showrunner, etc. in there. So that I will watch it again. Oh no, I squished. Oh, TD2. That is a good joke. I like that. You win a prize. Now, usually I would say your prize is death, but this time you don't win that. You win something else. No, I have no idea what it is that you win. Well, we're almost done. Speaking of things being revisited, looks like Michael J. Straczynski, whatever, is going to be redoing Babylon 5 again. Which, again, why are you revisiting old properties? I mean, part of the draw of Babylon 5, the original one, was not knowing where the story was going. And if you're just going to redo the same story, I'm not all that interested, thanks mate. And if you're going to do a similar but slightly different story, why aren't you visiting a new property? I would prefer to have a new thing where you do a similar but slightly different story. New characters with new twists and turns, not old characters who will inevitably be compared to the originals. Oh, that's not worth it. Oh, I didn't plant. Well, okay. There we go, look at that. Perfect timing. Or moderate timing, I should say. Yeah. I mean, I have enjoyed a lot of Michael J. Straczynski's whatever stuff. He wrote a lot of interesting comics that were not established properties. Rising Stars was a very good one, and he also did Crossing Midnight, I think it was called, which was interesting too. Hey, we've reached 5,000. Alright, well, let's just finish these two, and then let's go buy a gun. Rising Stars was about a group of people who all got superpowers at the same time. They were all born around the same time. Now let's do one set of pumpkins. See if we get a chest. They all... I can't remember, I think it was 113 people. And the tagline for the comic was, "Oh, look at that, golden pumpkin, how exciting." Wow, look at that. Six old coins there. Yeah, the tagline for Rising Stars was, when these people were touched by God's finger, we never asked, what finger? And yeah, there are lots of trials and tribulations. And yeah, I think we've talked to everybody around here that we could. Nobody else wanted to talk to us. And we talked to Ack. I don't even know where Ack is now. Rising Stars and then screwed up because humans. Oh, hey. Hey, Ack. No? Can't talk to you? Alright, okay. Indeed. I mean, humanity did it. I mean, I don't want to spoil the ending, but we have no indication that anybody else wouldn't screw it up. Oh, hey. Alright, Rusty Ed. It's time to hear your third and final story. Wake Ed. Wake up, buddy. Oh, was I snoring? Sorry. Ah, no. Thank goodness, it's harvest. There's no snoring here. Unless I've missed some patch. Alright. Ask Ed to tell us a story. Tell me a story. I've got one more. Where do I start? You know, we're not all up and about in here. Well, we're not waving our arms around. Our bodies lie on couches. Mine at my place, yours at your place. And sometimes it's all about speed here, especially with duels. I mean, neuronal speed, not bodily. If you want to be sheriff, you must beat the previous one. You must be faster, more precise. Well, I don't want to show my impressions. I want to have him continue. Go on. This guy was good. Everyone can see it. But I noticed something. He would enter the game for up to 3 hours, maybe 4. It was always like that. But once he lingered, playing pokers, it was 6 hours? 7? And guess what? The guy was staggering, dropping off. I noticed his fragile brain, quick but easily fatigued. It was his vulnerability. Next time I played him myself. I kept letting him win. I challenged him to a sunset duel after he spent 12 hours here. And couldn't turn it down. That's the rule. He was good. But I could see in his eyes that he had already lost. His eyelids were twitching from the adrenaline rush. Go on. I'm guessing this isn't over. Go on. So he wouldn't give up without a fight. He knew that would insult me. Don't get me wrong, he was a good guy. He knew I'd discovered his weakness. Maybe if he had the money, he could have paid to get his neurons enhanced? Maybe that's what the poker was for? I never saw him again in here. Maybe he had a breakdown? Was he fed up with his quick fatigue? That bothered me a bit. Anyway, I was sheriff here for a full month before I lost the duel. But I've never forgotten that guy. He had a nice vintage nick. Kill them all! Oh! Yeah, we know that guy. We know that guy. We met him. Let's say we knew him. Hey, buddy, we knew that guy. That was great. Kill them all? I know him. I've met him many times. I even invited him to my show once. Got a pumpkin with tagline. Yes, okay. Ned's wrinkled face brightened. Really? Hot damn! Well, I'm glad he's still holding up. Alright, I suspect you want to ask me a question now. Go ahead. Alright. What questions have we got to ask you? Oh, we can ask about Leanne, because you... If we tell you that we're working for Leanne, investigating the sheriff, you will get us into the guild hall. But we've also listened to all 3 of your stories, which was a requirement for joining your guild, so that we can get into the guild hall. The sheriff cannot go into the guild hall, because them are the rules of the game. And in the guild hall is where the outlaw is hiding. So let's ask about Leanne. Ed, what can you tell me about Leanne? I got the impression you knew her. I do, from way back. I can't tell you anything because it's not polite to gossip. At all. I think we're going to show understanding here. I'm actually going to choose this vote myself. Vote now! I have voted 1. Your votes do not count in this instance, I'm afraid. Because I don't really want to insist. I don't need more red points or whatever. I assume it's a accumulation of what you do over the course of the game that earns you a point. So once you've done like 3 understanding things, you will earn a point of understanding, or whatever it is. I don't need any more red points, and I don't think I really need the information that you hold. So let's show some understanding. Fine, I won't push you. Thank you, my friend. Leanne is a new character in the game. She's back after a hiatus. I think she wants to start over. You see, she's sort of a public figure in the realm, so she values privacy in sensorial worlds. Yeah, but now I'd like to take a nap. Oh god. Alright, well we'll go and talk to some other people, and then we'll come back and get into the guild house. Let's see. Who is Leanne? She returned to the game after a prolonged absence. Then she's probably not the perpetrator, seeing as they've been doing it for all the time. But no, she can't be the outlaw as well. Alright. Hey there, Fruity Betty. We're gonna say the secret password. Show me your wares. I mean, that is a crappy secret password to say to a store owner. I might go into a shop and say, Shopkeep, show me your wares at any point. Just to be stupid and different. So yeah. Betty winked at me knowingly. I have a firearm for 5,000 coins. Interested? I mean, yes, we are interested in owning a firearm so that we can gun down either the sheriff or the outlaw. So we're going to buy the weapon. Yeah, I'll take it. She handed me a heavy paper bag. I noticed a hint of madness in her eyes. Enjoy, sweetheart. Oh, look, our icon is no longer grayed out. How exciting. So, let's say the secret password again. Show me your wares. Oh, I also have a Midnight Express ticket for friends and regulars. Only 20,000. Thanks, but I can't afford that. Well, I don't really want to do harvest time for 20,000 money units. But maybe I can tell somebody else who has that. Or maybe I could take that rare stuff from the looter, and not the looter, sorry, the orange farmer guy, and sell it all to make money. To buy the ticket to give to someone. Alright, okay. But that's not the time. I think we have bought all the fruit out. No, but we've bought those already. We have one of each of those, I know. I bought them already. So let's see what you do in the Relium. Could you tell me something about your life in Relium? Sure, it's no secret. I work for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I organise new holidays. Are you saying you're at work right now? You're on a couch somewhere in the ministry? That's right, sweetheart. We've got a lot of free time here. Currently we're working on Neighbours' Day. mildly curious on Neighbour's Day. Oh my god, I've just noticed the cows over here. Why have they all got skulls for faces? That's horrifying. I don't want skull-faced cows. Never mind. Alright, tell me about Neighbour Day, so that I can take my mind away from skull-faced cows. Neighbour's Day sounds interesting. We're talking Relium, not some in-game event, right? Yes! Relium needs holidays and events just as much as games do. The event is supposed to counteract the most common cause of depression in free Europe, loneliness. People will go out to parking lots and squares carrying treats. Then the host will initiate conversation with simple icebreakers. Bah, humbug. I wish to be lonely all of the time. Alright, we're going to vote. I'm going to put this to the vote because I don't know what to make of this. Is it a praiseworthy idea? Vote 2. Is it an idea we should criticize? Vote 1. It's weird and odd and distracting and really not great. But possibly it might work? I don't know. Strange and unusual. Praise the initiative. Really? You people in my chat want me to praise it? Alright. No! That's a really good idea. I'd like to get to know my neighbours myself. Really? I think it's idiotic. The office pays us to come up with this stuff. And I can play Harvest Time in the meantime. What did I get a point for? Optimism. Optimism. You made me gain a point for optimism. If I had said that it's bad and you should feel bad, then I probably would have got a point of caution. There we go. Alright. Now, we know the sheriff is on speed boosts. Let's keep asking. Hey there, tell me about the sheriff. What do you think about the sheriff, Betty? What everyone in Highbrook does. He's a solid and helpful player. I suppose you don't have an opinion yet? You're still new around here? Let's put this to a vote. Do we express our doubts? Here, in the open street, where anybody can overhear us? Do we not respond by sitting there and just being all silent and mysterious? Or do we admit that the sheriff is alright in our book? He bought us a drink and gave us 3 chests to open. Which of those? 1, doubt. 2, don't respond. 3, admit the sheriff is alright. Oh, pretty Betty, you're going to get our honest opinions as soon as they are filtered through the aggregate of voting. We have a democratic mind here for things that we don't really understand. Oh, just vote one of the numbers. You want me to not respond? Alright. Or are you just going to vote 2 the whole time? Alright, don't respond. Oh. Well, let's get a thing of that. It was better not to share my thoughts with her. It seems she liked to gossip. Well, that's calm reticence, maybe. That's fair. Keep your thoughts to yourself, sweetheart. I am curious, though. Alright, and we're also going to ask about the outlaw. I'm looking for information about the outlaw. I heard the lawyer was here recently. Did he ask you to show me your wares? Oh, that new character leveled up real quick and hauled themselves up somewhere. I'm afraid there might be another fraud. Gather info. Another fraud? Do you think the outlaw is working with someone? Is there some kind of gang here? Hard to say, said Fruity Betty. I had some trouble with this guy, Black Rook. You know, I'll get his name right one of these times. He peddled illegal items and swindled people. The admins banned him at the sheriff's request. At the sheriff's request, you say? Maybe he wasn't all bad. Maybe he was just lucky and was trying to help people. It was funny she said that, since it was Betty who took over Black Rook's business. I am not sure I can contain myself and not make a comment, but I'm going to put this to the vote. If I were a person, I would make a comment there, and make myself not her friend, probably, by saying, "Hey, isn't that strange that you got the job?" afterwards. Never mind. But not responding might be the tactically smart thing to do. Well, we have already kept our mouth shut once. Who knows? 1. Make a comment. 2. Don't respond. We're gonna make a comment. Alright, comment making. I predict that the comment will be, "I like your oranges." Oh no, it's another point! What did we get? And now you've taken over his business. That's true, but I'm honest. To my clients, I mean. Betty smiled radiantly. What did we get the point for? It didn't say. Or if it did, I missed it. Maybe it was expression? Who knows? Alright. Time to leave. Thanks a lot, Betty. Hold on, sweetheart. Betty leaned over and looked at me conspiratorially. You asked about that player. I know that Black Rook and the Outlaw were doing shady business together. But you didn't hear that from me. I mean, I did. You told me just seconds ago. Betty winked at me and started arranging her wares. You told me the same information twice. Are you trying to reinforce the idea in my mind? Did it not happen? Oh, weird. Alright. And now let's talk to Fruity Hilda. Good morning. It's good to see you. Alright, what's going on in the town? Do you know anything that's going on in the town? You've got all the fruits over here. What wares exactly is Betty rearranging over here? Is that flour that she's selling? And other grains in the background? Okay. So, what's going on in town? How are things in Haruk? Sorry, I don't know anything. I'm trying to stay away from other players for now. Alright, bye. Enjoy the game, partner. Well. Oh, hello, yes. Have you finished thingying down your horse, Millimo? Do you want to talk? Gar smiles, smash away. Hi, how's it going? Do we share our insights on horses, or do we talk about horses? Vote now. I mean, I don't know what the difference is. 1, share insights. 2, talk about horses. Huh? If the vote button is there, let us make use of it and see. I mean, I don't suspect that somebody will enjoy you coming up to them and say, "Hi, let me tell you all about the horses that I know about," when they're brushing down their horse and generally, you know, being nice and taking care of their horse. Alright, sharing insight on horses. I wonder if I've actually got any insights on horses, or whether I'll say something, "Horses have 4 legs. They have a tail. Their bottom is underneath their tail. Poops comes out of that end." Are those the ideas that we have? Or do we actually have other insights? Really, I was watching horses in harvest time, and I've noted a few interesting things. Oh, okay. I mean, we did read the encyclopedia pages on the other 2 horses. Horses here like it when you pat their necks. They sleep while standing, and they like to chew when there's nothing in their mouths. Those are all things we did learn from the encyclopedia pages and looking at the other horses. Gosh, that's all true. You really do like horses and know a lot about them. Respect. Mad respect, Calgor. Alright, well, now we can ask about suspicious events, or inquire about Millie's life in Rillium, or we can just talk about horses again. You know what? Let's cement your respect by talking more about horses before we go over to ask about other things. Say you know a lot about horses. I'm considered an expert around here. I'm a decent rider too. Horse secrets are a hobby of mine, you could say. For instance, who else knows that a hungry horse stamps its hoof 3 times? I know it. From the game! Games are great educational systems. I mean, I don't think that's going to be true of every horse you ever meet, but it might be true of every horse in the game. Did this girl actually believe what she was saying? It was nothing but nonsense. Do we keep her in ignorance, or do we tell her how it really is? I mean, I'm not sure how we know what it really is. But hey, and yeah, let's vote. Let's vote on this information. Do we make her feel stupid, or do we just keep shut up? 1 for shut up, 2 for make her feel like an idiot. Oh, what a dangerous, dangerous job this is. Making decisions on whether or not to enlighten a person on their stupidity. That seems like a horrid thing to be doing. Nope, we're going to keep quiet. Alright. Really, fascinating. I think I heard about that at some point. She gave me a kind smile. Alright. Tell me, Millie, before I ask you ASL, do you know any suspicious events around town? Have you noticed anything suspicious in town recently? Oh, relations, because we've been nice to her and didn't upset her and tell her things. We got this. Then he made another awkward hand gesture. A new player talked to me not too long ago. Outlaw. It was odd. Scared me a little. She wanted to hustle a horse out of me, escape from High Rock. She didn't understand that my pretzel is a show horse. He's not fleet. She was upset, and got me upset too. I thought the Black Rook sent her after me. Oh. Both of those are interesting. And yeah, do we want to know more about Outlaw, or do we want to know more about Black Rook? And yes, I'm going to make you vote again. I hope you're not suffering from voter fatigue. If I'm doing it too much, please say. Isn't you stuttering your vote? No, I understood that you voting 1 all those times was not. But thank you for making sure. Are we going to inquire about Outlaws or inquire about Black Rook? Neither! Oh no, I have to make a decision on my own. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, that's fine. Voter fatigue is a thing. I won't ask every time. That is a lot of votes I have asked for. But hey, doesn't matter. Let's find out about Black Rook. Particularly, if I can pronounce their name correctly. Black Rook? A fraud who promised to sell me a one-of-a-kind horse from the Pumpkins and Ghosts events. He just took my money and disappeared. Oh no! Now the Outlaw's gone into some shady dealings with him. Maybe they're some kind of gang. Best to stay out of it. Okay. That's interesting to know, but not exactly... Alright, let's inquire about Millie's life in Rillium. Millie, you've been honest with me so far. Tell me, what do you do when you're not in harvest time in Rillium? If you work with horses as well, I will be most disappointed. She looked at me, then at the ground, and she cleared her throat. Then, oh, was going to say she took a drink, but I don't have one to hand. So instead, when I lost my hands, I was told to rest. I've been sitting alone in my apartment for a few months now. I'm 16. We live low. We only have artificial lighting. It's always dark outside. Dad's never home. He works so we can afford the faster regen. He blames himself. We have this old robot, a duster. Dresses me, connects the fluid. I lie on the couch and I'm here, where I'm happy. Emphasize loneliness! Emphasize loneliness! I'm only doing that so that I get a point of blue. Blue, which is loneliness. Yeah? Yes. Or we could be honest, or comfort her, or express sympathy. Where does honesty fall on here? I don't know. I mean, I assume express sympathy is under empathy, which, you know, we haven't got any points of, but we have got lots of listening. I assume blue is loneliness, because the express loneliness. Energy, expression, atmosphere, intuition. No, green might be comfort her. Express sympathy might be something else. It's not indifference or impatience. Yeah, where is compassion? Oh, there it is. Empathy. It's under green. Compassion. Oh, so maybe not all of them. Maybe it's not choose your colour. Maybe it's just choose how you have a colour for some of them. But I'm going to emphasize loneliness. Yes! Yes! We got loneliness! Loneliness poisons the soul and makes you go crazy. You have to fight it. Get out in the world. It's good that you're playing this game. My thoughts exactly. In here, I'm not lonely. I have Pretzel. I have you, and I have other players. And now that I've talked about your loneliness and told you how you're not going to be lonely, I'm going to leave you alone. Bye, Millie. I'll see you around. Millie gave me a wink. Bye. All right. And now we gained a point. We gained a point. Look at this. I can be a Vox Populi now. Fame is no longer a tool that serves you. It is you who serves others. You know best which arguments will convince people, especially if it concerns protecting the weak. Your knowledge of the law and the human psyche makes you capable of changing people's minds. So I can change people's minds with the Vox Populi, and also I can change people's code, like malleable clay, as it says here. Now, I'm not really sure what I would take to change people's physical bodies. I guess down here, oh, brain fixer. Or molecular sculptor. Well, I could be all changing all the time. I could rewrite you into a new you, and you wouldn't even know it. Here we go, Vox Populi. I use up all my empathy points, but I'm still going to have plenty of determination and inspiration-y type things. Here we go, yellow. Orange, even. There we go. I have now voxed my populi. Look at that. So many others left. Alright, let's go wake up Ron. We could rake up Juan as well, if we wanted, I suppose. Except his name's Ed, so not Juan or Ed or Red. Wake him up. Wake up, buddy. Oh, was that snoring? Sorry. Oh, thank goodness it's obvious. There's no snoring here, unless I missed some patch. We can ask Ed to tell you a story. I don't think you've got any more stories left, have you? Would you tell me another story? Maybe later. I'm tired. Ask your questions if you have any, because I'm about... I'm about to take a nap. Alright. I want into the guild. Tell me how to get into your guild. Could you admit me to your guild? Sure. You listen to my stories, and I can see you're not a member of any other guild. Just a minute. You know that feeling, do you? Well, I mean, feel free to drop off. You don't have to stay here and be this. I mean, it's nice that you're here. I appreciate you and enjoy your company, but I can muddle through with my own loneliness. There, welcome to Rusty Ed's Guild. Be sure to read the terms and conditions. It's just one sentence. Be nice. Yeehaw! You are now a member of Rusty Ed's Guild. You can get access to the Guild House, where you will find tons of attractions. The Guild House is available from level 15, so get on your farm and level up. Don't worry about the levels. My guild runs on principles from 20 years ago, when there was no such limitation. The house is open. I've always liked to see things come and go. That's the appeal of old games. I don't know why it exploded twice there, but alright, I did. Ah, you're trying to finish your own game. You're not cookie clickering? You're hidden item object iteming? Alright, yeah, let's ask about rumours before you fall off to sleep. You got any exciting rumours? Ed, you look like a guy that knows a lot. Do you know any gossip? If you want gossip, you better make friends with Fruity Betty. Now she's a chatterbox. Alright, you go off to sleep now. Take care, Gramps. No, don't call him Gramps. Oh, that's a horrible name. Alright. Who is whistling at me? Now, I don't know if some of you saw it, but yesterday these two were talking, and we learned about the Tree of Knowing from these two, which is a in-game thing which pops up all over the place. But somehow, I interrupted their talking and failed that quest. I don't know how, but still, there we go. Oh, no, we've seen that one. Been down here, haven't we? Alright, yes, no. Guild House, that's where I'm going. He said, having forgot immediately why he was talking to Rusty Ed. Yes, this is the Guild House, you can tell, because it says Guild House over the top of it. That's Leanne, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's interesting. Where's the outlaw? Can we go up the stairs? Ooh, we can go upstairs. Alright, let's see what's upstairs before we talk to Leanne. Wow, I fair sprinted up those stairs. Oh. Stay away. You look like the outlaw. Alright, I'm going to stay away from you then. Alright, let's talk to Leanne. Leanne was absorbed in a book. At least she seemed to be. Yeah, she could just be idling animation. And slowly looks up. Oh, it's you. Alright. So I think since we've done most of the work anyway, let's take the job. I changed my mind. I'll take the job. Excellent. I want you to vet the sheriff for me and find out what he does in Relium. I hope everything's clear. Well, I mean, I think we already know. Seems. Oh, we can't see what the thing is because your head is in the way. Leanne, you're preventing us from doing your stuff. Let me get a screenshot of that as well. So, I mean, oh, there's more options here. Thieves extort coins from her or leave. Alright, don't want to do either of those. Let's have her say something about herself. With our sensory celebrity. Exciting. Well, that's not an exciting new one. That's the first level. Hey, tell me about stuff. Can you tell me something about yourself? I can never be a sensory celebrity, as you can see. I will stumble over my words too much. Can you tell me something about yourself? I sense that you're a strong and interesting person. I'm sure that I'm not wrong. Oh, stop it. I'm not that interesting. I'm just a regular Harvest Time player. Well, alright. I am a big fan, she said, holding a big fan. Oh, humour. It's been a while since I last played. I was pretty busy in Relium. I managed to come back, but to be honest, I'm here on business. Yeah, we know that. We didn't learn anything new that time. for our deductions, we already knew that you have recently returned to the game. There's one piece of data here that I don't know. There's one piece of data here that I don't know. But we've got all the data on the outlaw. Let's see what you know about the sheriff. Let's ask what you know about the sheriff, just to, you know, round out our investigation and see if it fits with some of the other pieces we know. Do you know anything about the sheriff? I heard that he's very respected here. Everyone speaks very highly of him. What's your opinion? I'm going to say I don't trust him, because I really don't trust him at this point. He seems to be running the Orange Gang, and he wants me to capture another Orange Gang person. My instincts tell me not to trust him. Right? Felt so myself. I'm glad I met you. Alright, okay. What do you do in the game? What do you do in harvest time? Woman burst out laughing. What haven't I been doing? Used to run a prosperous farm. I was top of the leaderboards. Now I'm mostly here for the people. The community is one of a kind. Sadly, you can't trust everyone, which is why I asked you for help. Alright, so I want to ask you about the outlaw. Have you heard anything about a player called the Outlaw? That girl upstairs? Oh, okay. I don't know her. I think she's new. She's strange. She just sits there and reads books. What a horrible thing to do, to just sit somewhere and read books. Wow, that must be terrifying and strange and generally weird. Have you seen her talk to anyone? No, nobody came to see her. She's alone. Okay, so we've done our job for the sheriff. Is that all we needed to do? Alright. Alright, we're not going to report what we discovered about the sheriff just yet. We're going to go upstairs and we're going to talk to this outlaw. Now, I am going to cheat. I'm going to save here. Because she says, don't get close to me. So if we get close to her and it suddenly starts a firefight, I'm not going to be happy. Upon seeing me, the girl tossed her book away and made a few hesitant steps towards the exit. She was frightened. Stay away, get lost. Oh, here we are. Oh, tense dramatic music. Okay. Speak to the outlaw. Do the job for Leanne. Collect intel on the sheriff. That's what she was saying beneath there. Alright, okay. Move closer. Don't come any closer. Got intimidation, which can lead to her breaking, or conviction, leading to her trust. And you have finished the hidden object game. Aha, well done. How can you leave when there's such dramatic swelling music playing here? Let's have a quick look and see if we learned anything else. Nothing in the deductions? Ah, we got something new on technologies. Oh, right, executors. Yep. Commercial. Physiological pregnancies are ruining women's organisms. They're ruining women's organisms. Alright, we know that. Until now, nobody has said it out loud. And it's the end of the 22nd century. It's time to act. I don't quite... Alright, have you ever noticed that eggs laid by birds, reptiles or amphibians are quite small compared to the size of their bodies, or that marsupials have tiny offspring that fully develop in their pouches? Only the mammals come up with a reckless idea that a female should carry her young inside her until it's outrageously big. Then our species took it to a whole new level. A newborn's head is so big that it can barely fit through a woman's birth canal. And then you have all the stretch marks, swelling, hormonal and circulatory disorders. It's a nightmare. I mean, that is how we have evolved. I'm not saying it's necessarily the best thing, but it's why we are humans. The big head is to accommodate our big brain so that we can think the thoughts that we think. The genius thoughts of making aeroplanes and all other kinds of things. But still. Luckily, we have a cure for that. Exuter, the external uterus. Now women can become pregnant while keeping their bodies unchanged. All of the mother's movements, words, and moods can be transmitted to the baby, and vice versa. The mother can feel the fetus move around, and her belly won't expand, no swelling, scratch marks, or other pregnancy-related issues. The latest Exudo models can even transmit digital sensations. If you're inside a game and the sun shines on your stomach, your little one will feel it. Fantastic, isn't it? Exudo birth guarantees the same conditions as natural birth, but it's 100% safe, both for the baby and for the mother. What are you waiting for? Visit the OVO website and enter a new era of pregnancy. Well, there we go. Alright. I mean, don't come any closer. Really sounds very, very, not threatening, but, well, vaguely threatening. She said, stay away, get lost, and now I'm going to say, don't come any closer. I mean, I assume that is the action, not come any closer. Really? I'm going to print screen this, and I'm going to suggest it to them. It shouldn't say, don't come any closer. It should say, stay where you are, or something to that effect. I stopped. I didn't want to exacerbate the situation. Exactly, you stopped. He gave me an appraising look. The sheriff sent you, right? When it's true, say nothing, or, sensori celebrity, convince her that he did not. What? Of course not. He wanted something for me, so I nodded along to get him off my back. What an obnoxious man. I mean, that's true, but you don't nod along. Not like that. You play along. The girl's face relaxed. That's good, but I'm still not talking to you. Hey, look, I don't trust that sheriff. I think he's doing horrible things. I'm here to help. Trust me. I'm here to help you. No, I don't believe you. I don't quite understand. No, I don't believe you. Trust increases. Scalpel, gain her trust. I've got to look that one. That's you, right? You know how to communicate with Medibots, how to stop a hemorrhage or stabilize the wound. You can use your medical equipment, you recognize disease symptoms and life-threatening conditions. You don't panic when somebody loses consciousness. You can perform CPR. You are a scalpel. Not quite understanding how that works for gaining her trust. Is it because you can say, I see you're malnourished? Alright, well, we're going to try convincing her to talk, because that's all we got. I guess I could end the conversation with conviction. Let's try convincing her to talk. Give me a chance. I bear you no ill will. Let's just talk for a spell, and you'll see for yourself. I mean, I have a gun. So, what if I put the gun down all the way over on top of the piano, and then just come and sit on the floor here? Because sitting on the floor, I'm giving up the high ground. You've got all the advantage. You could just run right past me. It will take me time to get up. And you can leap over the stairs or out the window or wherever you want to go. And I won't have my gun. It will be miles away behind me. You will have all the advantages. I am trying to put you at your very best easiness. Yeah, alright. We'll see about that. I mean, I don't quite understand how I meant to get those, so I guess I could mess it up. I convinced her to listen to me. Now I had to gain her trust. Convince her by being subtle. Convince her by being open. Ask for help with the investigation. Ask who she is in the Rillium. I think, said looking at these things, that we convince her by being open. Even if that's not going to be caution. That's probably going to be sincerity. But yeah, I mean, I could try and convince her by being subtle. But I don't really see how that works right now. Let's be open and honest and trusting. Listen, you know that you're no match for the sheriff alone, right? The girl nodded in agreement. Sensories. Offer medical assistance. I can't do that. So let's convince her by being subtle. That's the only option I can choose. Think about it. How would lying to you, framing you, serve my interests? If I'm here, giving you the time of day, my intentions must be good, right? That's not a convincing argument at all. If this goes up because of it, I'm going to be very disappointed in this. It bloody well did. Well, maybe. Show empathy, convince her by being subtle, or brag about my connections. Hey, I'm all kinds of big in the world. If I shut you down, I wouldn't get more ratings and views. It'd be better if I shut down the sheriff and helped the outlaw. Then, you know, I'd have a giant heel turn. Heel turn? Face turn? One of those things that you do where you turn around on a part of your body. Stick with me and you'll be fine, because, you know, my friends are your friends, and I've got a lot of friends with a lot of clout. Oh, look at that! Oh, I didn't know you were a celebrity. So embarrassing. Relations. The girl looked at me like a dog that used to be bitten, but decided to trust their new owner anyway. Offer the outlaw the ticket. Alright. I'm going to ask you about the sheriff. I think we're pretty convinced that the sheriff is a horrible, horrible person. Tell me, what do you know about the sheriff? He's a cunt, for one, is he? Alright. Oh, that's not language I expected to see in this fun harvest time adventure, but alright. He has a pair of goons. Ack, usually watching us at the farm, and Mad Dog, usually watching the sheriff's office. Oh, okay. Can you tell me anything about yourself? No, not can you. Do you care to tell me something about yourself? If you don't want to, that's fine. But I suspect you work in the low and were forced to do this? Not much to tell. Though I did recently give my supervisors the slip. I'm just sorry I didn't get to see that arsehole Ack's face. My dream is to visit all in-game locations. There's a snag. I can't leave without a ticket for the Midnight Express. It arrives this evening. Are you working with anybody? Who are you working with? Actually, no one. I'm alone. All alone. You really don't have any partners? I don't. I swear. Oh. Alright. Well. I know where you can get a ticket if you've got 20,000. And I think I'd rather offer it to you rather than to Dr. Thaddeus Oakley. So yeah, I'm going to offer you the ticket. I can get you a ticket for the Midnight Express. What do you think of that? Hey? I told you I was a big-time personality person with a lot of clout. Now don't look at me while I go and farm pumpkins for 20 hours. What do I think? That's all I've ever dreamed of. Do it, please. I mean, I don't understand what your end game plan here is. Right? So you're on a couch somewhere doing this. Presumably, you're on the other person's couch. Right? The couch of the people who are making you work this in the Relium? I mean, it could be your couch, and you could be part of, like, oh, I need to sign in to work because I'm working from home sort of thing. But I don't know. Alright, can I get closer and talk to you? Banikata. The girl smiled hesitantly. Speak then. Ask. No? Alright. I don't know if that is. Alright. I am going to very quickly look up translate again. And see if that word is a name no, translate from Polish. It does. It means outlaw, so they haven't translated that word. Alright, groovy. That is something else. Many translation errors. Never mind. Okay, well, thanks. Actually, let's stand up here. And let's look at our deduction board. Who is the outlaw? I think it's reasonably clear that I suspect the outlaw is the real victim here. I don't know if anybody here is in agreement with me and wishes to express that agreement. The only options we have are victim, perpetrator, and cheater. So I suspect you are a victim here. Waiting to see if there is a response. Nope. Yes. Can't vote here, so I don't know. And I don't know if voting victim here means that it blocks the others off from being a victim, because I think Leanne might be a victim as well, as she is being hoodwinked by the sheriff. But yeah, shady business. The outlaws are doing some shady business with a play of such horrible repute that they were banned in harvest time. But I mean, the sheriff got them banned, so we don't necessarily know that they were doing horrible repute things. Yeah? Could just be that they were challenging the sheriff's power. Alright. We're going to pick that this person is a victim. Victim towards guilty. Let's have a look at that. Who is responsible for the Orange Folks issue? The outlaw is not a suspect. The outlaw cannot be guilty. Ah, gather more information. If I look at who is Leanne, you could also be a victim. I suspect she's a cheater trying to con suckers in harvest time. Although I don't think she's to blame for the Orange Folks' problems. I don't think she's a cheater. I also don't think she's the perpetrator. I think... Oh, there's still one more point of data that I don't have. Alright. Let me talk to you again. Now that I've made that deduction, speak to the outlaw. Identify the one responsible for the Orange Folks problem. Decide who the outlaw is through deduction. Gain the outlaw's trust. Alright. Can I talk to you again? No. Alright. Nothing to say with the deduction. Alright. Alright, who is the sheriff? I suspect the sheriff is the real perpetrator here. Responsible for the problems of the Orange Folk. In situations like this, there's only one person pulling the strings. That person is probably the local lawman. What if none of them? What if I say he's... Excuse me. What if I say he's a cheater? What if I decide that none of them are the perpetrators? I assume that's a deduction I could make. But no. You are the perpetrator. Perpetrator, down to the guilty. And sheriff is a suspect. I think the main problem in this case is the sheriff. I don't have any of that information there. Alright. Who is Leanne? Think she's on the whale hunt. I don't think she's a cheater. So since she's a cheater trying to con suckers in harvest time. She's the head of the non-distopia Foundation. Yeah? She wanted to meet in the Reloom. And Lebsky, who is the sheriff, that's his real name, said no. And here we are, she's trying to take over the next garden program in harvest time. Trust me, I'd be happy to, because this is trying to help the children. You say you're in low, a disfigured person. And you're trying to help the hospital. I think I believe you. I think you are also a victim. I suspect Leanne is the real victim here. I suspect you're both victims. Leanne is not a suspect. I don't believe she's guilty of anything, which means the sheriff. I mean, I'd like to find some more data to be sure. All signs point to the sheriff being responsible for all that jazz. He's controlling, ingratiating, and suspiciously popular. Oh no, he's suspiciously popular. That must mean that he is the one. Alright. Alright, yes, you're just telling me that. Alright, if I go back over here and talk to you again, can I do that? No. I can't tell you that I think it's here. Alright. Hey, Leanne, we're gonna start our things. There, I've decided who they are. I wonder if I could decide they're all perpetrators and just gun them all down as well. That would be fun. Hello again. I'm going to report to you what I've discovered about the sheriff. About the sheriff. Say you're still gathering information. Lie he's an outrager. Lie he's a doctor. Lie he's an infotainer. Or tell the truth, he works for a foundation. He works for a foundation. Your foundation! Dun dun dun! He works for a foundation. He works for the Nanette Foundation under the pseudonym Mr. Levski. He runs Nanette's Garden, an activation program for kids. Activation program for poor kids? Not an activity program for kids. The woman's eyes and mouth went wide for a good while. She seems to have trouble catching her breath. But how? I'm Nanette. I'm the head of the foundation. Yeah, we know that. I had no idea that Mr. Levski was the sheriff. He never said a word. Alright. Tell me more about Mr. Levski. Tell me everything you know about Mr. Levski. I've never seen him in person. We met in the game. He wanted to help me with Nanette's Gardens, and we struck a deal through Viper. The program was a burden on our budget. Mr. Levski came up with the idea to auction items from loot boxes that spawn when you grow pumpkins. I actually can't say a bad word about him. He's made the garden self-sufficient. The kids from the program have decent equipment, supplements, supervisors. Although, I had to say I'm not sure about anything anymore. Thank you for your help. Do you have other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the Foundation. I mean, the Orange folk... I am going to gun down your sheriff and get him kicked out. So, your program's not going to work anymore. Because everybody here is... really... not doing so well. So, you know, gonna free them in the game, get them doomed in the hospital, in the real world. Swings and roundabouts. What do you know about the Orange folk? Nothing, except the fact they work on public farms and everyone thinks they're widows. How is that connected to the case? I mean, I think they might be one and the same. Oh, now I understand. If Mr. Levski is the sheriff, then those people might be my kids from the next gardens. Oh my god! How could you not, you know, just go down to the place where your kids are and just ask them and just say, hey, what do you do in the games? How are you enjoying your time? Is that not a thing you can do? Thank you for your help. Do you have any other questions? If not, I'll be going back to the Foundation. Yeah. Tell me again what you do in the game. Tell me the truth. What do you really do in Harvest Time? Nothing wrong. I'm looking for a sponsor that can support my Foundation. I need money. You see, I'm running a children's cancer hospital. Yeah, we knew that. About the sheriff. Well, he seemed rich. That's why he caught my attention. Thank you for your help. I have to go back to the Foundation now. Goodbye. Yeah, logged out. Alright, deduction. The outlaw is a suspect. All leads suggest the outlaw is responsible for the problems in Harvest Time. What? No! The outlaw is not a suspect. How can those two I don't know where that came from. Clues and shady connections point to the outlaw, who would hide if they weren't guilty. I mean, that is a very Japanese system of justice. I've got several things to do. Alright, have you got anything else for me before I just run away from here? Panic. Nope. Alright, okay, fine, thank you. Going back down. Running out of the guild house. I hope you're not sitting... Hey, you? Are you a Happy Joe and you're just one of the things? Okay, so meet the game deck at the graveyard, which might be a thing to do right now. Identify the one responsible for the Orange Folks' problems. And give the outlaw a ticket to the Midnight Express. Well, I'm going to go over and see Dr. Thaddeus Oakley. Why are those cows mooing so much? That's what cows do. Right? They kept mooing. Did they want me to milk them? Whose cows were these anyway? It looks unclean, but the game had no straight animals. Their tails swung at the same pace. Was that a glitch? Well, that's a thing. I don't know how to milk you. And I've reached the maximum level. Right? Are you going to complain that somebody stole one of your apples? Because it wasn't me. Hey there, you. Handy Joe. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello again. My eyes sparkle with joy. What can I do for you? Ask about the game rules. No, we've asked about all of those. Don't care. Thank you very much. Hey, Thaddeus Oakley, are you going to give me some money? Ask for money. If you give me 20 grand, I can get a Midnight Express ticket. But then... I am really not sure that I want to spend the next 40 or 50 minutes harvesting pumpkins in order to make 20,000. I mean, I could summon Eleonora and get her that, but I don't want to get her busted either. Hey, you got any money? Nope. Alright, thanks, Maya. No, you got nothing? Alright. No, let's... Oh, I can throw myself off the board. You know, let's do that. Oh, hey, Ed. No, alright. Kick the barrel to knock him off. Never do that. That would be nasty and mean. So let's go up this ladder, which says climb. Hey there, you who's sitting on the roof. Do you have... Still no birds in the sky. Watch the birds. Where's Professor? It's been a couple of hours and I haven't seen a single winged creature. Should come back with your own binoculars. You see less but in greater detail. Would you lend me your binoculars for no reason? I'd like to borrow your binoculars, may I? Sensori celebrity. We haven't known each other long, but I recognize you from the commercials. You seem trustworthy enough. Okay, you can use my binoculars. Hey! Well, that would have been good to know before. But it was only because I was a sensory celebrity that I have this thing. Alright. Or because I looked at the birds 3 times. Alright, let's survey the area. A horse, a cow, a horse. Oh, there, a road. I think it leads to the graveyard. Oh, I can get there a different way now. It used to be accessible, the graveyard, but the devs excluded it from the game. You can see a European nightjar there. Wonderful birds. Okay. Let's look at it again. There was nothing going on there. Alright, let's observe the guild house. I turned my binoculars towards the guild house. I noticed a lonely figure on the upper level of the house. She was sitting in a room, in a dark corner. Gathered info. Female outlaw skin looked like a premium item. It was the player Sheriff Billy was after. She was hiding in the guild house. I mean, we already knew that. Let's look for some birds. I looked to the sky with the binoculars. I started searching for winged creatures. A flying bird. That's what I call a beautiful sight. Not those dirty cows. Ho ho ho. We're going to laugh along politely with them. Ha ha. I'm sensing you're just excited to see a flying birdie as I am. You've got the ornithology bug. I don't know whether that is a... I mean, I assume it will have consequences down the way for confirming or denying this. I mean, I would be excited to seeing a flying birdie. Why not a flying bird? I would not call it a birdie. Birdie is more childish, I guess. I don't know how old you are actually, but yeah, it would be fun to see the bird. But you know, I'm not all about that bird life. So, no, sorry. It would be fun to see it, and I would enjoy seeing it, but I don't think I would take the time to, you know, observe it accurately and get on with all that stuff. I hope not. Alright, thanks a lot. Now, plank. Walking the plank was a quick way to find yourself sleeping with the fishes, maybe. Yeah, I knew that. Alright, well, I want to go to the well and jump down and go meet the game deck in the graveyard. Can I do that? Certainly can't go that way anymore. Well, jumping down the well was certain death. I was sure to leave and end up in the graveyard. Yeah, but I want to go to the graveyard. Alright, is there anything that I can learn from talking to these people down here? Selling in-game time. Aggro carrots and more. Liana Lily. Hey you. No? Okay, but I can talk to Guy again. And I might take your items and steal them. If I'm kept working without paying attention to me. You're the farmer who was disconnected and slow? I mean, I don't want to be upsetting, but if you've got cancer, isn't one of the symptoms of cancer, or some types of cancer, fatigue? So, it might be that you're just not getting the right set of stuff. Not now. When Ack isn't here. Ack isn't here. Hello, Lucky Game Deck. Alright, let's watch the guy working again. I still didn't watch them work. Oh, there's a treasure chest. Let's see what's on. Oh man, it's the Lucky Shot Winchester M186 with potato dumpling engraving. Potato dumpling engravings? Oh my god. Another box, and inside, an untainted coyote carcass with 1 week decay time. Ornamented. We've seen that one already. I could work with you all day. Another treasure chest in it. An untainted coyote carcass with 1 week decay time. Ornamented. I still didn't watch the work. Man, you really do bring me luck. My treasure is a Carmine twofold drip Mantilla with 5-star renown bonus during the farmer fiesta. Alright, I sat and watched it work. We keep talking, and here comes another treasure, and in it, the fancy harrow of the Burgrave from the Pass of the Molehill Vanquisher 3 bonus. Rustic. Watch it work. Look, it's another treasure. This time it's the Gravedigger's Sturdy Shovel with the accelerated parsley cultivation bonus. Alright. I might agree to deliver your loot and then steal all your loot. Now, I'm going to go onto my own farm. Hey, Wild Poppy. Congratulations, you've reached... Can I spruce up my farm anymore? No, okay. I mean, how do I get... I could get 20,000 by doing all of this. Or I could get 20,000. Presumably. Wow, look at that. 6. And how much do I get for this golden pumpkin? 20. Wow. Oh, and a loot box. Cool. There we go. Let's go and open this loot box and see what's inside. You've put up a fence. We're ready to get some gas. Congratulations. Open a chest. I'd like to open a chest. I get a bag of gold coins, which are worth 86. Alright, yeah, I am not going to do hours and hours of pumpkin farming, and I can't remember how much I get for this. I think it's like 30. So I'm going to have to go and steal some stuff. Leave the farm. Hey, Ack. You move on while I talk. Can't talk. I'm looting. Yes, you can talk. I'm going to agree to deliver your loot this time. Alright, guy, I'll help you. I need you to deliver this loot to the fence. Talk to the storekeeper, Fruity Betty, I mean. Oh, okay. Ask why won't you go there personally? Oh, you go there yourself. I cared, but time is money, friend. I'm losing it right now. Sorry, but that's the truth. I could be looting right now. Tell me the payment. You need to remember that my time is really valuable, guy. I don't work for free. Sure, sure. What do you need? Gold coins or maybe a weapon? Oh. I could have got the weapon! Oh well. I don't need any more information, I don't think. I want coins. I want 20,000. Could use some coins. Alright. And where is it? Where can I find the fence? In the town on the hill. Blackrook used to do it, but Fruity Betty took over the business. All clear. I'll deliver your loot. Okay. So I think maybe you are working with the sheriff. Help guy from the Orange Folk Farm. I mean, I don't know why he's going to the fence rather than into the guild house. Can't I... Oh, this isn't the auction house. The guild house and the auction house are different things. Hey, you. Good morning. It's good to see you. Is that it? Alright, okay. I mean, I know you're not the right fruity person. I'm just, like, you know, trying to see if there's an alternative. Yes, I haven't been in the saloon in a while. There's the bartender. Howdy, what can I get you? Nothing. I've already had a drink. Apparently I can't have more than one. Alright, looks like I am coming to you, Fruity Betty. I'm going to sell guys loot. I don't know how much I'm going to get for this. Hi Betty, I have a couple of items to sell. I've got so many items. I'll take it and I'll pay you immediately. Ooh. Transfer part of the money to your account, transfer everything to your account, transfer everything to the Orange Folks account. I mean, there's the thing, isn't it? How much are you paying me? Oh, is this actual money? I don't care about actual money. If it was in-game currency, then right now I would be all for it. But real-world money, I don't care. Hey, Orange Folk, have it all. And to wire the whole sum to the Orange Folk account. Sure thing, sweetheart. They've just received the money. Thank you, Betty. Pleasure's all mine. Alright. I helped you. Return to the farm and speak to Guy. Alright. Hey, you got anything else for me, Rusty Ed? Wake up, buddy. Ah, was I snoring? Proceed to questions. No, alright. Get sleeping. Is it the cows there that are whistling? Do we have whistling cows? Hey. Hey guy. Past choices. It contained a pricing list. Everything seems to be in order. I knew I could trust you. Said you wanted some coins for your trouble. Or did you change your mind? I want the coins. I don't need help in the investigation. I don't think. I don't know. I want coins. 2.5. I wouldn't do anything with them on my freemium account anyway. I don't need the point. I have my secret. What's your secret, guy? I did what you asked me. Tell me your secret. That is not how you go about this. You don't just bluntly say, I did what you asked. Tell me your secret. You say, hey, I helped you out. I know you paid me for it, but, you know, do you think you could help a fellow out here and tell me what your secret is as well? I'm not going to tell anyone. I just need an edge in this game to work out how to help the orange folk, because that is who hired me to do things in here. Ha, good one, but no, I have to keep it a secret. Is that secret a cheat? A speed boost? So you know. Well, you're a pro Gamedec, aren't you? That's a secret. Everyone in the org uses it, but I'm the most successful. Relations. I will tell you another secret. Betty, the fence, took over special item traffic from one player. All you need to do is show me your wares. Just don't say I told you that. Oh, there's a chest. Let's see what's on sale. Oh man, it's a Midnight Express ticket. Oh man, a gem like that only comes once in a lifetime. That could get me a lot of money. Give me your ticket. That Midnight Express ticket you found in your box, why is it so valuable? It allows you to go to other areas of the game, visit new places, build a new farm. It's a fresh point. It's a fresh start. Okay, what's the point in starting over? Why would anybody want a fresh start? I don't know, because it's cool. I heard it's cool. Another box, and inside, an awesome infinite watering can with the voice of Golden George Steam. Or Golden Gorge Stream, sorry, not George Steam. Alright, how can I buy a ticket from you? Guy, do you still have the ticket you dug out in front of me? I'd like to buy it from you. Hey, listen. I know you came here to help us, but I can't sell you this ticket. Relations. Oh, just give it to you there. Oh, guy. High five. I handed me a piece of paper that shone with gold. You helped me sell my loot and brought me so much luck that it would be unfair not to give it to you, wouldn't it? You are an awesome person, buddy. I stood and watched him work. I can work with you all day. Another treasure chest, isn't it? The Lucky Shot Winchester M186, the M1866 rifle with a potato dumpling engraving. Alright, man. Thanks. Actualium harvest time. Game of things. Your ticket. Hey there, you lucky devil. This is your personal ticket to the Midnight Express. It entitles you to one ride on Harvest Time's fabulous train. Instructions. Board the train. Tear the ticket and marvel at the brilliant animation. Travel to any station you wish. Don't forget, getting off the train invalidates your ticket. This is a one-way ticket. The developers of Harvest Time wish you an unforgettable experience. And look at that, we're only missing one piece of information there. We're still missing something from the dark web. Look at all this gossip. Alright, well. Well. That was a thing, wasn't it? I don't really need to go inside. I mean, I'd like to find all of the things for my farm. I'm going to get a save here. Lucky number 13. And this is where I'll come back to if I ever want to find all of the things. Looking for a good guild, Rusty Ed. Thank you, Rusty Ed. I mean, I've got the ticket. Can I sell you the ticket? Say the secret password, show me your wares. Currently I don't have any wares to offer. Oh! Okay, so there is only one ticket. I can't... Yeah, I was thinking of like getting the 20,000 together as well and telling this and selling it on. Talk to Oakley, ask for money. No, I don't want to ask for money from this guy. The sheriff isn't in here, so I think we're coming to the end of this world. Finally. So, deductions to be made. Who is responsible for the... Oh, wait. What was that? Who is Leanne? She's in search of a sponsor. That was support Foundation for Children. Yeah, she could have been a cheater. But victim, perpetrator. Oh, okay. So I guess each of this was the sheriff is a suspect, the sheriff is not a suspect. The outlaw is a suspect, the outlaw is not a suspect. Leanne is a suspect, Leanne is not a suspect. Somebody else. It's possible that the person responsible for the problems with the orange folk is somebody I haven't considered yet. No. It is the sheriff. The clues and shady connections point to the outlaw. Who would hide if they weren't guilty? I think we are going to conclude, unless somebody in the chat can come up with a reasonable reason why it's not the sheriff. I think we're going to deduce that it is the sheriff. I guess that's one that says Leanne. But yeah, we haven't got that. So yeah. Just waiting. This is where I most want the vote to be able to happen. This is the important stuff. This is the stuff that you should be voting on. But no, apparently not. Right, so I need to get at least one green and one blue. In order to get anything else, I could be a mindfluencer. I don't really want to be a salesman. Possibly an admin? But that understanding the system objects are connected, what networks they create, and how they communicate. You know how and where you can access them. In some situations, you can see things invisible to others. I don't know that I want to head down these paths with this character. So I might just get admin if I can. Alright. Nobody has said anything in the chat there. Nobody has... that I did contradicts the sheriff deduction. So... alright everybody, hold on to your hats. I don't actually have a hat. I suppose I've got a baseball cap somewhere. Must have. Yeah, I have. I got one from the New York Yankees. Anyway, here we go. The sheriff. Dun, 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 dun. No data. Decision time. No data. Can I not? Alright. Relations. There was a mysterious Gamedec wait for me in the graveyard. I need to pay him a visit. I thought it was a her. Alright. Well, that's good. I mean, that is where I wanted to go, but I've got no data there. Alright. Speak to the outlaw. I've also got to do that. Climb the ladder. Hey, can I borrow your binoculars again? I want to observe the road to the graveyard. Is there anybody in there? No, there was nothing going on there. There is another person there. Here's your binoculars again. Thank you. But, you know, can I get to it by jumping off of here? Yeah, return to the graveyard. Hey, I came up here, I watched the birds, and then after talking to the professor, I threw myself off. This is my third visit to the graveyard. I hope the information the mysterious Gamedec had for me was worth it. What? Why are you even trying to balance? You just want to die, so you don't need to balance. Huh. Oh, there I am. Interesting. Are you the Gamedec? Ghost. Alright, Ghost. I'll come and talk to you in a second. Oh, this is the tomb. Yeah, I'm not a cheater. You have holographic gravestones now. Okay, that's good. Alright, Ghost. You other person who didn't have a physical form before, aren't you? Mysterious player. Welcome, Gamedec. Hi. Do I need to perform a ritual or exorcism to make you reveal yourself? Right. Let me exit gardening angel mode. Wait, how do I do that? I think it's over here. It's me, Ken. So, oh, hey, you. We met in Twisted and Inverted. I was conducting my first case there. Yeah, cool. Cool beans. Right, we met. I remember you were chasing some crooks. Move on to your case. Ask what he's doing. How was your case? Oh, I got a lovely heart. Tell me more about your investigation, Ken. Did you manage to find the cheaters that spoiled your game? Online, yes. But you know, Chief, it's not the same thing as catching someone in real life. I tried to use this program Investigator, but it's not easy, so I followed them around and tried to find out where they live or drink. So, step by step, program by program, deduction by deduction, I've become a Gamedec. Hey! Yeah, education. I helped with that. Bring him down to earth. Congratulate him on the career change. I mean, if I bring you down to earth, I'm assuming that will get me a blue point, which is what I want. You know, I think that's going to be calm or considerate or whatever it is. Calm. Yeah? So I really want to congratulate. I want to say, hey, that's great. I'm glad you made the move. But, you know, don't forget. Got to keep things in perspective. Still a lot to learn, man. But cool. I'm glad you're on my side. Or, I'm glad you're one of us. If not on my side. It'll be fun to pit myself against you at some point. I'm going to bring you back down, Ken, I'm afraid. Sorry. Don't want to discourage you, pal, but a Gamedec makes money solving other people's problems. Do that once, you can call yourself one. Yeah, true. Alright. That's not quite what I was going to say, but that's alright. Ask what you're doing in Harvestheim. What are you doing here anyway? Following the cheaters? Yes and no. Know those chicks in TMP? Knight's Code members? I know this because they were talking about the Tree of Knowing. Here now. They're asking about it. It's important. I've met the local sheriff too. I'm sure he cheats. I hate cheaters. Look, pal, I'm going to tell you he's got a speed boost, and I could really do with an edge to do it, so if I have to cheat in order to do it, I'm going to take it. So, I laid low, hidden, started snooping around, and you showed up, so I thought we might join forces. Well, you're Native American. If you're going to be all ghosty. I mean, it's great. So what's the deal with the native skin? Right, it's just a Gamedec arsenal, hiding by using a different gender, pretending to be something else. I'm surprised you don't do it, Chief. Meh, I feel people open up to me more if I'm myself. Skin is from pumpkins and ghost sticks. I bet it's invisible, it cost a lot. Coupled it with Guardian Angel, but it didn't work. It makes work harder rather than easier. No, it's got a unique vibe. I mean, I'm not going to say that. Because anybody can be... I don't believe that you can change your race within... Yeah, but anybody can be anything. So I don't know. I don't know if it's inappropriate to pretend to be that which you are not when you are not trying to portray an authentic experience. In the real world, I think somebody would get absolutely crucified for it. I don't know how much this is the real world for these people. Everybody here. Anybody can be anything here. So, I mean, we've had horses. So, I don't know. It's a unique vibe. Oh, alright. You look good, Ken. You made me feel the true Wild West spirit. Charisma is my middle name, Chief. Alright, well, let's see what we got. What did we learn? Here. Got a point of atmosphere. Alright. Still need a blue before we can become Scalpely. Or something else. Oh. Well, I could take Mindfluencer immediately. Because I have all the things. But I don't want that. I am wasting so many of my red points by not doing any of these things. But hey, that's the way it goes. Alright, what did we learn in there? Organisation. More about the on-clan, yes. Gamer things. Clan registry. That's code. Exit from the clan registry. Entry 54,512. The on-clan. Organisation established on 12/12/2197. 521 members. Considered passive. Players take few aggressive actions. They mostly defend their territory. Admins have reported clan members' behaviour as sectarian on several occasions and described the group as a cult. The organisation is led by a player called Gylo Ma, also known as Lord. I think we knew the name already. Anyway, tell me about my case. You said you had some information on my case? Yeah, I think there's something fishy going on. The Orange Folk use a cheat that helps them get loot boxes. Yeah, it's a speed boost. I know about it. Yeah, it's some sort of speed boost. Yeah, but you know, Chief, that could be any kind of hack. Small time or heavy artillery. The Sheriff, that Billy guy, uses a similar cheat to win duels. Oh, hey! Yes, I mean, I concur with your theory, and I like the use of the word concur. It makes sense. I've heard this from other people as well. I mean, you might have even been there when I learned that information. Sadly, I don't have any substantial evidence. I'd like to get some. Cat info. I know you want to help the Orange Folk with their problem, Chief. I want to help you. If I were to pick a prime suspect, it'd be the Sheriff. That's what my instincts tell me. I've heard it's a big part of being a game deck. Yeah, absolutely. It is a big part of being a game deck, and your instincts are on... Maybe they're on the money, but they agree with my instincts as well. What you're saying makes sense. I saw that you closed the deal with Billy, and now you're obligated to do the job for him. But I'm not obligated to do the job for him. Maybe it's a good idea to get him in Iridium, find out who he really is. Now what? Decision time. Whose side should I take? The Sheriff's made himself the Lord of High Rock, forgetting he's in a game. The Orange Folk's problems are his doing. Somebody ought to shove that gold star down his throat. The Outlaw is responsible for the Orange Folk's problem. I have to catch that player and give him a serious conversation with him. No! Deduction. Get the Sheriff. Oh, I actually have to choose it in-game here. Alright, okay. Deduction. Get the Sheriff. Yeah, absolutely. The Sheriff is the problem. Ending. Alright, okay. Deduction. Get the Sheriff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need to get him. Oh, fucking so. Yeah, I need to go speak to the Outlaw first of all. I've got the Investigator. The program tracks people down in Relium. You just need to get in physical contact with the avatar of the person you're looking for and hold them for a while. I know, I've tried. There's a problem. Alright, tell me. What kind of problem? It's like a thin layer of digital air between your hand and another avatar. Maybe that's why it's easier to cheat with the speed boost here? I've searched the code. It seems that the barrier causes the birds to vanish. I mean, they're there. They can't be seen. It's that layer of air. Okay. I think there's a safeguard against the app. Whether it was done upon player request or of their own accord. You can't just touch anyone here. Now, you can't run the Investigator by just touching them. I thought it over and I've got an idea. Alright, no, you tell me your ideas. I'm interested in an over two. Do tell. Can you hook up the Investigator to a bullet and then shoot someone? The bullet would get inside the hours there and stay there long enough. Yeah, that's awesome. You're thinking like a game deck, Ken. That's exactly what I was thinking. Ken looked at my weapon with approval. See, you managed to get a piece. It should do. I've got another point. Aggression? Oh, it doesn't say. All of these red points. Took a bullet from the gun cylinder. I opened the Investigator window and linked the program to the bullet in my avatar. Done. Damn, Chief. Watching you work sure is something. Now you need to challenge the Sheriff to a sunset duel and shoot that douche. It's getting dark. We should go. I'll assist you as an invisible protector spirit. You can thank me later. I assume I have no say in this. You'll follow me whether I want it or not. I'm involved as hell in this. I want to know how it ends. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe I can help. I mean... Ooh. I think I want you to stay close. I want you to take the bullet for me, probably. I mean, I know that doesn't sound great. Might need an invisible helping hand. Stay close. Great. Lead the way, Chief. Alright, I want to go and speak to the outlaw, first of all. I look again. He nodded. He was ready. Return to town. If you don't let me go to the outlaw, first of all, I will be most disappointed and might have to reload. Oh, damn it. Miss Gamedec, quick! They're hanging Stanley! Who's Stanley? Who's hanging him? The sheriff and his men. Heck, and somebody else! I don't recall half the time having a hanging mechanic. Sounds of a bustling crowd here coming from the saloon. Let's hurry. Yeah, go there. Kids? Who is Stanley? I don't remember who Stanley is. Ranchers, witness a triumph of law and order. There's no place for scammers and scoundrels in High Rock. Alright, okay. I am reloading this save that I made. Because I want to give the person the ticket, first of all. And the fact that it has forced me into this, I'm not happy with that. So we're going back. Meet the Gamedec in the gate. Collect clues. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to go and give the ticket. And then we're just going to zip through everything else. I'm still way shy of that, but hey. Hey there. Get the hell out of here. I have a ticket for you. Speak then. Ask. No. I'm giving you the ticket. Is a ticket for the Midnight Express. It's yours. I don't understand how that's past choices, but alright. Gosh, you weren't lying. I mean, you did it. I'm so glad. Thank you. I'll escort you to the station. Chef could stage an ambush. I'll help you get to the station. Alright, let's meet here at sundown. Meet the outlaw at sundown. Oh, does that mean I'm not going to be able to save Stanley? Oh, hey, Stanley's my client. I'm so glad I remember the names of all these people. Yep, up the ladder. We'll do some more talking with you. Right, need to make the deduction. Oh, not you, deduction. What is the main problem of my clients? Who's responsible for the orange truck issue? It's the sheriff. And then I have no data. Decision time. Congratulations, Mr. Gamedec. Yep, we'll do that in a second. Let's talk to the observer. Still no birdies. Draw your binoculars. Can I observe the guild house? Oh, the outlaw school was still there. Look for small birds. Ooh, look at those. The longer we look, the higher the chances of seeing a flying birdie, or even a non-flying birdie. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Don't call them birdies! No, unless there are no birds in this game. There must be birds. There must. We'll pot a tawny owl or a night heron when it gets dark. Alright, thanks. Now we'll jump off the flank. Whee! I wonder who wrote these things to get me here. I'm still invisible when I come out of the thing. That's great. Now I've appeared. Alright, there we go. Hey there, Ghost. Welcome, Gamedec. Want want to do a thing. It's you. That's great. Tell me about your case. It's awesome. Bring you back down to Earth. What are you doing in harvest time? Ask about the tree. That's great. Oh. No, that's not what I said, is it? Oh, damn. Alright, okay. We asked about the skin. And I would like to keep the decisions that I made. Even if I have to go through all this stuff again. Run and see all of the things. You can see it again. I mean, I would have liked a point of no return thing that said something like, hey, you're about to jump into the thing for the last time. Yeah? Ladder on the roof. Now we're on the roof. Hey there, you. Let us talk to you. Can I borrow your binoculars? I would like to watch the guild house. I didn't do that the first time, but I did it this time. Let's look at the birds. Maybe we'll find a thing. We'll watch the birds. Whether there changes. Complain about the rain. It was a roof. I think it looked like a Dunnock. Okay. Then, well, whoops. That's not the right thing. Profession. I don't know if we got anything there. We'll make a deduction. Who is responsible? It's the sheriff still. Yay, sheriff. Yeah. Now we'll go and meet the surprising person that we definitely didn't know who it is. Who could it be? Why, I predict with my amazing psychic powers. Yep. It's Kinchao. Also, we're invisible. Again. It was the third time already. Indeed, it was both the third time that we have been here, and it is the third time that I have been here with this. So you are doubly correct. Hey, you! Talk about cascades. No. Bring Gamedec down to Earth. Ask what you're doing in harvest time. Alright, ask about your Native American skill. It has a unique vibe. Move on to my case. There's something fishy going on. Yep. It's a speed boost. Judge the better guy. Concur with your theory. Agree with Ken. Deduction, make the deduction. New clue. What was the new clue? Oh, this is right. Take me to the right. There we go. Now what? Decision time. Whose side should I take? We're gonna get the sheriff. Whose side should I take? Get the outlaw, get the sheriff. I mean, whose side should I take? I mean, why not say side with? No, I guess you wouldn't want to say side with the outlaw at this point. But I mean, it's whose side should I take? And then we're saying get the sheriff. What have we got in here? Organisations. It's good. They're true believers. It's Game of Things of the Nightclan Registry. Professions. I got a point of atmosphere and a point of education. Okay, cool. Deduction. Get the sheriff. Yep, we need to get him. Off. I can let me explain. It's the reason why there are no things. That's great. Listen to a solution. That's exactly what I was thinking. You managed to get a piece. It should do. Done. Continue, continue. Continue, continue, continue. Stay close to me. Nothing. It's just ending. And professions. Another point of red. Red. Right, is there anything I can do in here? I assume not. I mean, this is the cheetah. And I cannot be a cheetah. Because in order to be a cheetah, I would need... Wait, 1... So, if I could somehow get 2 blue, then I could become a cheetah instantly. Because I have more than enough red. But yeah. Find the sheriff in Relium. Alright, you got anything more to say to me, Ken? No, I can't even talk to you like that. Alright, okay. Going to save the game at this point. And yeah, because I started slightly late, we'll be running over somewhat. Turn to town! He was ready. If we can, I'd quite like to finish this case today. Here we are. Let's Gamedec, quick! They're hanging Stanley. Who's hanging Stanley? The sheriff and his men. Ack, and somebody else. I don't recall last time having a hanging mechanic. Sounds a bustling crowd will come from the saloon. Let's hurry. Go there immediately. Follow me. Challenging the sheriff to a duel. But what about all my other ones? About getting the thing? No, you're not going to say anything. Millie May? Oh no, Millie May's gone as well. Millie Mo? And the banker. And here we are. Let the fucker die. Really? Look at him kick, tighten that rope. Wow. Wow! Everybody else should be dead here. Archers, witness a triumph of law and order. There's no place for scammers or scoundrels in High Rock. Yes, it's just a game, but most players take this world seriously. It's a home, the place of respite, meditation, and honest work. I saw all of those. Okay. Oh, it's because I saved and looked back at it. This person committed fraud! Lots of fraud! The truth about him will soon see the light of day. We are even closer to the truth. Dog, Ack, you know what to do with him. We have to do something, Chief. Stanley's your client, isn't he? Yeah. Can you log out? God damn, I mean, there's not a facility for lynching in this game. You're lynching one of the kids that you are looking over. Ah, screw you. Hey there, Sheriff. I challenge you to a duel! That's how you say it, right? The game system sent a message to the player. The duel was about to begin. Alright. I'm calling it 1-0 for the Sheriff. I got a feeling the new gal will shoot first. Oh, does this matter? Nah, the Sheriff always shoots first. It's like we got ourselves a daredevil. I'll put a bullet in you with pleasure. No one's ever beaten me, and you won't either. That's because you've got a speed cheat. Missions. The presence of the orange folk gave me comfort. I'm sure all my predecessors had fired the first shot. That's why they lost. Really? Harvest time. This has got to be about duels, right? Dark web. In-game duels. Many games incorporate a duel mechanic, you know, like a western. You and your opponent face off against each other, and whoever is first to draw, aim well, and shoot is the winner. Well, I've got a handful of tips on what you should be doing to come out on top. The first fundamental thing is obviously your aiming skill. That tends to be relatively straightforward in games. Anyone who's played a few matches of any shooter knows how to make the foresight align with the backside, for purposes of various sight types. I mean, I didn't even check my sights were aligned on my gun. I bought it, and now I don't know anything. What you don't know comes down to our neural responses. It's a fascinating thing. With research dating back to the 20th century, and experiments conducted at the time, researchers discovered that the natural speed of a person drawing first is lower than that of the person drawing in response to their opponent's move. Okay, reaction is faster than action. That's nice to know. Now, as far as real-life situations go, as in those involving a real body with its inertia, weight of the weapon in hand, etc., turns out that reaction speed being faster didn't translate to victory, as too much time was lost on trying to spot when the opponent reached for the gun. We're talking fractions of a second here, mind you, but, wait for it, things are different in-game. In sensory worlds, digital bodies usually offer no resistance, weapons are much lighter, and our brains react more efficiently when they don't have to look out for the well-being of a corporeal bulk, which, let's be honest, is nothing but a burden. To be more succinct, in games, the neural speed of the person reacting to the attack is much higher than that of the attacker, a fact that produces tangible results. Advice then is as follows: if you want to win a duel, don't rush the attack, especially if you see that your opponent is calm. Consider my advice and trust your neurons. They'll do your job. FBS nuances. Oh, nuances, sorry, not nuances. Blog, Frankie the Ghost. Alright. So, don't go for shoot. Yeah, I think I'll probably cheat by making eye contact with Ken, but gain the crowd's sympathy. This is fun, right? I got no answer. The sheriff showed his teeth in a mocking smile and a moment lost his concentration. He restrained himself and focused on me again. Alright, Ken. You hold his gun down. I need the element of surprise. Ken was known to have good ideas. I nodded slightly in his direction. And I approached the sheriff and waited for my signal. He was wearing invisible skin, so the sheriff didn't see him. The sheriff lifted the edge of his coat to reveal a holstered revolver. I was breathing calmly. Everything was under control. I don't know which of these is the way to go here. I don't really want to restrain my movement. I should move my hand to the holster, because then that'll force you to act, right? Or is the act moving to the holster? I don't know that I want to reload if I do get shot and die. But let's try it. I move my hand closer to the handle of the gun. Looking straight in the eye, the man slowly shifted the weight of his body to his other leg. The shot cut aside the entire success of my plan. I started to feel anxious. Shoot the sheriff, prepare to shoot, watch the sheriff's shadow, wait for the sheriff's move. Examine the sheriff's move. Programmer, prepare the lag attack. Using eye control, I pulled up a program on my deck that could give me an edge. I needed a minute to start running. I had to stall. Alright. I can't really see his shadow. He's in the shadows. So, wait for the sheriff's move. I waited. The tension was rising. The cat, bored of toying with his victim, he moved his hand closer to the holster. The stress intensified. I felt how hard my heart was beating. The lag program was still running in the background, slowly powering it up. Needed only a moment. Okay, then I'm gonna watch your shadow. Focus on my opponent's shadow. It mimicked his silhouette, revealing elements not visible from my angle. I didn't notice anything special. Sheriff moved his hand near his mouth as if he was about to cough. I reacted. At the same time, the sheriff reached into his breast pocket where he had a second revolver concealed. His speed was unnatural. He got me. No, that's cheating. Last choices. As I fell, I fired a shot in his direction. Jeff looked at the wound and logged out momentarily. I was hoping that the investigator managed to get a read on his location. A spectacle. Just wish the outcome was different. Such capital particles. Keep your pants on. The investigations in. Find the sheriff even if he's logged out of the game. Nice. It was quite a tumble you took there, Ms. Gamedec. Thanks for saving my dignity. Stand, he said. I nodded and winked again. It was a team effort. Ken nodded at me, opened a deck window visible to both of us. Let's see if the investigator attached to the bullet did its job. I looked at the report. The progress bar showed 100%. There was an address below it. This was one of the mushrooms in Warsaw City, Dakota. You know, one of the farmers. She said she lived in one. Interesting. There must be a connection. Yeah. He's probably getting up from the couch now. He's figured out we tracked him down here. Well, we gotta go. Want me to pick you up? Yeah, cool. Let's arrive in style. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll be waiting at the apartment. As you wish, partner. See you there. Let's go deck. I want to talk about something important. I want to find the outlaw quickly and escort them to the Midnight Express, or is that not going to happen? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? The boyfriends who were standing motionless and staring vacantly into this. The orange folks started disappearing one by one. Oh no! Kid, no! Leave me alone. Leave. All members of the orange folk left the game. I need to do the same. I opened the logout window. Yeehaw, partner, leaving already? Don't you want to visit your farm before you go? It's probably the last chance I get to see the place. No, end the game. Return to the apartment. Now, Poppy, I've got important things on my mind. I've got to get back to reality. I'll be seeing you then. Come back around sometime. I clicked on the logout icon. Last choices. It was time to visit the sheriff in his lair. I didn't get to get the outlaw out of town. Oh, that's... I mean, I gave you the ticket, and then stuff happened. If I give you the ticket and said I'm going to escort you out of town, can I side with the sheriff and then say, hey, I'll help, and shoot them down in the back? That's probably why. That's probably how it works. Cacophony of hard to identify smells hit my nostrils. Decaying plants, the smell of burning. Whoa, the odour of oil. Was that what the Undercity smelled like? They were only a couple of thousand metres above the ruins of Old Water. Oh. Past choices. King came to pick me up with his new mobile. We went to a mushroom, one of the places where polis builders had lived a century ago. On the way, Ken talked to Mile a minute. He was excited like a fan during a game. I should have made my own way there. I should have made my own way there so that they didn't connect the two of us. Oh well. He touched down at a narrow parking lot by the door, place indicated by the investigator. This is the moment, right, Chief? Oh, that's what you look like in the real. Cool. You'll get the bad guys and kick their asses. And you being in Gamedec was more thrilling than good or bad. Fuck! I feel like a real detective. Oh, you better not die. But you're the one with the experience, Chief. Lead the way. We're going gun blazing, right? No. No, 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 no. We do caution. Teach him caution. Yeah, no. Not with guns blazing again. I don't know what's inside or how strong the door is. If it's reinforced, all we do is... You're right, cautious. With some guns blazing. I go in, you cover me. Alright, I got a point of blue. For caution, that's great. I mean, you hate cheaters. If I take a point of blue here... If I spend my blue here... I can't take it, because I don't have 2 green now. So I could take sleeve immediately. Your survival instincts, that's what characterizes you best. Life is a game with no rules, and you don't trust the system. It will betray you. You don't hesitate to use force, but you can also flex your brain when needed. You know life is about being tough. Making way down to re-educator. You've learned to survive on ways the hard way. Your experience combined with knowledge of the law serves you as a powerful weapon. Not only can you break someone's jaw, not by referring to certain regulations, you can just as sufficiently intimidate and convince them, that is. So that one I can get now. That one I would need to point to blue. Dang, I don't really know that I want to be a cheater. I might wait for Scalpel. And then go for that. Yep, alright. But that means I'm going to be I've done so much red. And I need 2 points of it. 3 points maybe, and I've got 7. I could just become a mind influencer. So Master of Manipulations 8, everything is a sale. From a certain point of view, they're right. Anything can be sold if you know what you're doing. You know all the methods of persuasion. Knowledge, experience, and connections enable you to create an argumentative mix that's hard to resist. Alright, okay. Let's take this. Let's be a mind influencer. I've still got a point of blue now. So now I just need to get some of the other stuff. You go in. I go in, you cover me. Before I could answer, he threw himself against the door. He was strong. He hit it with as much force. He smashed his way in. Before I could answer, he threw himself against the door. He was strong. He hit it with so much force. He smashed the lock to pieces. Get him! Get who? We don't know who these people are. Oh, hey, it's you. You found us. Amazing. Where's the sheriff? Where's Sheriff Billy? You call him Kid. He's in the office upstairs. I saw him deleting some stuff from his computer. That means he hasn't escaped. Perfect. We'll enter his office. Guns blazing. Where are the other children? Totally empty here. There are no couches, beds for them. Where are the other children? Kid told everyone to log out. He was livid. There's some kids hid, and we're waiting for it to pass. I'll come out when they're no longer afraid. And you are... Camilla, in the game was known as the outlaw. It's good we managed to work things out. We managed to get here. I feel silly for not entirely agreeing. How'd you escape? You're the only person who stood up to the sheriff. You tried to run. That took guts. Respect. I was terrified, but I so wanted to see what was in harvest time outside our town. She offered those amazing things in each update, and when Kid wouldn't let us, I'd be allowed to see all of harvest time? Abso-fucking-lutely. Of course, you were able to sightsee to your heart's content. I won't have to hide anymore. She smiled. I have to take care of things. Please be careful with Kid, the sheriff. Don't trust him. Alright. Thanks. Who are you? One of you's Mad Dog? Ack Thompson. Kids, take cover. We got a bum invasion on our hands. The guy bit the tip of his tongue. He was in a mood for a brawl. An electric knuckle duster flashed on his clenched fist. Look, Doug, it's that Gamedec from Harvest Time. Oh, that's that Gamedec from Harvest Time I told you about. Kid was right. He did track us down. Fuck you one. Dominate and arrest with re-educator. Calm him down? You're spoiling for a fight. If I let Ken answer, we're gonna go and punch him. You need to reload your fists, just like Henry Cavill does. No, let's try calming him down. Gentlemen, calm down. We only want the kids and the sheriff. You still have all your teeth and unbroken noses. Let's keep it that way. You're free to leave. First you charge in here, breaking down the door. Now it's fucking calm down. Every action causes a reaction. That wasn't Ken Wink to me. He was ready to attack. I'm not a fighter. Despite the number of red points I have, possibly telling you otherwise, I am not. I mean, if I'd gone sleeves, maybe I would have keep everybody from fighting. That's not my thing. I believe a peaceful solution was possible. Listen, what did I get there? Pacifism. Listen. Oh! Alright, Ken. I felt like they're gonna hit me with a hammer instead of a fist. Lucky Ken didn't share my pacifist approach. I play good or bad. I'll rip bloody hammer fist ribbon from your ass. You know what that is? You and Blake started to retreat. He didn't make it. Hey, Ken. Damn, man. You're doing good. You okay, Chief? Hey, I got my ass whooped, but you stepped up. Thanks. You would have done me in if it weren't for you. I misjudged the situation. Don't mention it. You're the brain of the team. That makes me the brawn. Now, let's find the sheriff. Is that you? He was the only kid that didn't get scared. He seemed overly excited. Miss Gamedec. Oh, wow. Never seen anything like that. Only games have those wham-bam emanations. It didn't quite work out for you, huh? The other guy did alright. Good thing you brought someone strong with you, like we brought you. No, you didn't. You are Kid. Wait, I wanted to. He wouldn't listen. He was too excited. You have to go on up. He's upstairs. Oh, I'm Stanley, by the way. I mean Tom. I forgot to tell you. I was afraid, but you did fine. You can handle Kid too. You showed him. You must be good with all those likes on your profile. I bet you'd find us. Shut up, Kid. No, let him talk. I had it. You were crunch when he got hit. And yesterday we had no dinner, and they laughed. Oh, who's laughing now? Because the investigators had to lead you here. I knew it. Don't speak freely. Well, I think you're letting things up. No. Stanley, focus! He grew sad and fell silent. I could see he was used to hard choices. What's the sheriff look like? Describe him. He's big, much bigger than us. He's got long hair and smiles often, and not in a friendly way. He's cheeky and skinny and walks fast. And he sometimes talks weirdly, like, what's up? Or, see ya, like old people. But what does he look like? Well, I told you. Alright, easy. What kind of hair does he have? Dirty. I think that's you. I think you're the sheriff. It's the sheriff. Upstairs. I think he tried to run away from you. We should go, boss, quickly. Stanley, is there another way out? Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know the way out because we're not allowed in the office, ever. It's for grown-ups only. You gotta be fast. Like in a duel in Harvest Time, except in the game the good guys are always inside and they shoot to defend. No, don't have time for this. Sorry, kid. Hey, Stanley. I mean, Don, we're going upstairs. We'll be right back. You're right, Chief. We need to find the sheriff quickly. I think you're the sheriff! Inside in the foundation, they were dirty and covered with dust. Look inside. And sucks the lid. I looked inside. They were topped with cheap venom and supplement. They were all questionable origins. Was this the only assassin these children could expect? No wonder they were fainting. Hey, you. You keep calling him kid. No? You got nothing to say? Alright. Not even a blank response. Fine. Dun, 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 dun. Man, there's one more upstairs. I mean, I am taking my time to investigate these crates. I looked inside. Cheap game pills and infusing liquids. As far as I could tell, there was more virtual alien pharmacology here than food. I left the mess alone. Who are you? Samantha? Yo, Miss Gamedec, damn, you look like just like you did in Harvest Time, lol. No one does that. Man, Tom had quite the character. I literally lolled. It's good you came out, be careful out. But be careful, outsiders are fucked here, it's dangerous. What's the danger? He said the place was dangerous for outsiders? No one comes here because they want to, like ever. Have to be brought in by Doug or Ack. One time, a guy in an anti-G harness wanders in here. Doug kicked his ass so hard it looked like a bad hexel. Probably dealt with them already. The kid is upstairs, and I reckon Ack and Doug have nothing on him. Where's the sheriff? Yo, he's upstairs, I told you. Do I have to have like 0 skill points in listening? Are you deleting stuff? Can't stop me when I open the door. Chief? I look like a total bro, but I've never caught anyone. In William, I mean, not interrogated anyone. Any tips before we go in? First of all, the investigator led us here. But we don't know who's behind all this. Let the guy who acts as sheriff in the game interrogate him, find out what's going on. Talk about manipulation techniques. Yep. You need to make him want to confess to what he did. Provoke or push until he says something he shouldn't. It's very smart, Chief. I'll try. I'll leave the talking to you. I will listen and learn. Oh, we're gonna have... Hands up, motherfucker. Prepare for justice. I realized that was too much. Sorry, Chief. Got carried away. Hey, you're out of luck. The boss is gone. I heard you come out here and jumped out the window. You told me to stay and clean up here. Just some kid. It's good that you're here. I'll go check on your friends. He headed for the exit. Gathered info. Stop bullshitting. I know you're the sheriff. Not smile across his face. I almost convinced you, right? No, not even fucking close. I mean, I thought Stanley was, because he was enthusiastic and he would come up and go, oh boy, mister, how am I doing? And then he could run out the exit while he sent me on a wild goose chase, much like you tried to do here. But Stanley was more convincing, because he was so unconvincing. You, on the other hand, were just bad at convincing. Who are you? Okay, so this is where we need to think. I mean, if you ask somebody if they feel remorse, I mean, it can go several ways. But asking who he is... Don't you even know that yet? I don't want to tell you anything, but I'm going with it, because I don't think asking about remorse right now is the way. Who are you, by the way? No silly kid. One downstairs. I'm not as naive and defenseless as them. Nobody else could have wrapped my head around this idea. The setup was so tight. Fly couldn't squeeze through. Whatever that is. He's proud of it. Of course, everything was going great until punks called Gamedec. Sense the head of the Foundation. Say what you've discovered during the investigation. Decide what to do. Sense them. Oh, as in phone them. With our sensory organs. Don't look at me like that. I didn't mean it quite like that. Alright, yep. So I walked out, opened a command wheel and down the next night. Let's see what the head of operations has to say about this. Hey there, Gamedec. This is the moment you'd like me to return the favour? No? I'd like you to know what's going on in your own goddamn organisation and clean it up, please. Listen, Nanette, I'm in the mushroom right now. It's one of those 100-year-old structures abandoned by the builders of the polis. I know what mushrooms are. Have you found anything interesting in there? Yeah, headquarters of Nanette's Gardens. It's a dump, a stinky, creepy slum. What? But how? I rented this nice place. The kids are being forced to grind for loot boxes constantly. It doesn't look good. I had no idea. This cannot go on. I'll take care of it right away. Those children need care and attention. Just please, don't inform the police. An official investigation could paralyze my foundations. I wouldn't be able to help those kids. Oh, do it for the kids, man. For the kids. Yeah, alright. I'll agree. I'll agree to that. Alright, just promise me you'll take them someplace safe. Someplace nice. Of course. Have I ever lied to you? I mean, yes. I trusted the wrong person. I know, but I promise I'll make amends. Thank you, Gamedec. Alright, what questions have we got? Give me some information. Don't worry, Ant. I mean, what is in the next gardens exactly? What do you do? It's type of play therapy that combines work and fun. We rehabilitate kids from Low City by teaching them collaboration and empathy. This time is ideal for that. It's free. Let you work in the fresh air, experience nature, watch the plants grow, even if only in virtual reality. Who's responsible for supervising it? I am, obviously, but I trusted Mr. Levski with the Harvest Time division called the Next Garden. He's a very capable manager. He promised to take care of the kids and kept his word. The reports show his division is doing better and better. I'm currently working on our next project, a cancer hospital. Too many sick children, too few sponsors. I don't have time for other things. Luckily, I have Levski to take care of my gardens. No, you don't. Where's the headquarters of the Next Gardens? I mean, in Relium, not Harvest Time. I rented a modest place in the host tower right above Low City. I can't afford more, but it's clean, spacious, even has some natural light. Damn, are we going to collapse your foundation by... Alright, I don't think I need any more, thanks. Further questioning seemed pointless. I could hear in her voice that she had no idea what was going on. Yeah, say goodbye. Thank you for telling me this, gamer. I am once again asking you, please let me fix my mistake and take care of those children. Let me know when you decide. I have. Oh, I'm not talking to Nanette now. Now I'm talking to Kid again. Tell me about your operation, Kid. You believe everything's working perfectly here. What exactly does it... How exactly does this thing work? Using slave labor? What? You're going to take all those kids home and take care of them? You and your kind heart don't give a fuck until somebody paid you. Yeah, that's true. They paid you because they're making money. Right, but it was one of the kids who paid me. They're doing drugs and roaming the walkways without supervision. They're here together, learning how to make money. I'm proud of that. Okay, but what about the kids who run away? I'm proud of them. The kid felt so bad here that she tried to run away. Okay, her plan was strange. She lay here all along, but that screams of desperation. That's right, slave master. If they're so happy, why are they running and hiding? Where are those kiddos anyway? Use your brain, idiot. The kids can leave any time they want. The door's open. You'd notice if they had used the handle. Yeah, they run away, but only inside harvest time. They don't want to leave the mushroom. They want to stay and keep playing. As long as they're here, they need to follow the rules. If I let them slack, they won't learn discipline, and the program won't profit. Oh, damn. I mean, you're not making a compelling argument. I don't believe in what you're doing, but I mean, nothing you're saying is a lie. So, what are you doing here? Yeah, you're forcing children into labour. Your kids are being forced into loot box farming. In the same way, all employers force their staff. We teach them the value of work. If they want to stay, they need to earn their keep. No. No, 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 no. That is not how that works. You are saying you must do this punishing work or you get kicked out. That is not how it works with employment. There should be give and take between employers and employees so that they both get a mutually beneficial arrangement. You are not offering them that. And to be clear, a lot of stuff in the real world is not offering people that either. But, you know, that's how it should be working. It's called child abuse, yeah. Now, street rats. You think they'll do you think they'll do what they're supposed to if you leave them unsupervised? Right, but there's a difference between supervising them and forcing them to do that. We need to keep an eye on them. That's how we make money. We can feed them and give them access to the game. Everybody wins. Except they don't. You're not feeding them properly. That's enough for now. Chief, he's not showing any remorse. I feel it in my gut that he's not going to learn until we graciously beat the fuck out of him. This isn't how we're supposed to serve justice. Yep. Say what you discovered during the investigation. Came here to solve your problem. Kids got us because they were miserable. And didn't they tell you they want to play more? Because usually they do. They have it better in harvest time than they would on the streets. Or just want to make some money and escape poverty. Yeah, there are some people who were on drugs. I thought that was because they were in the cancer hospital. And they were having those kind of drugs which, you know, slowed down their reactions and made them all, or sped them up and, you know, try to keep them going. And you were just over-abusing them with the stims, but that might not be it. These children are overusing pharmacological substances, stimulants, and you turned them into junkies. What exactly do you think they've been doing on the walkways, huh? They say they only take game pills and some vitamins, no nasty stuff. Even I'd notice, it wouldn't be able to work. What about the speed boosts? You made the kids use a speed boost cheat. We always use it sometimes. Why do you think nobody can beat the sheriff in a duel? Anyway, the kids slack off, then use the cheat on themselves, and their plans to catch up and make money. Well, we gotta make a living. What do you say? On themselves, but that can accelerate the aging process. Chief, that can cause Adelheim syndrome. Accelerated aging. Organisms work at full power, and gets worn out. That's messed up. What's the alternative? Starving in Low City? Better get a little old faster, but actually get to live to survive. Don't you get it? Damn, I'm not going to let Ken release his anger. I mean, because Ken will just beat up this kid who is... I mean, that is the weird animation choice. Just have them there, sitting there, swinging their legs. But alright, Adelheim's situation is dangerous. That's the only thing I've got to choose there. I couldn't choose nothing. Adelheim syndrome is dangerous, you moron. People who use these kind of cheats on themselves often suffer and die more quickly. At least that we have here. Well, actually have something that's theirs. We don't force anyone to work for us. Low City does. How does the operation work? One more thing I want to ask. How this whole thing works. I swear, I'm proud of what I've achieved. I mean, alright, we can ask what you're doing. Kids crammed together and working in a dilapidated hole, even below the lowest of Low City's level. Are you really proud of this? They're brats from the Low City walkways. We feed them, we give them a place to sleep, access to nature, fresh air, on a farm no less so. You force them to work, you son of a bitch. You're stealing their childhoods, we're going to kick your ass. What ways are dirty and dangerous? Kids are starving. Are these the childhoods we're stealing them from, pal? Come the fuck on. But you had a better place. I don't understand why... Are you stealing it all to try and make more people work here? We teach them to earn and sell loot, for one, to keep this place going. Buy game pills for the Foundation. We're their only chance. No, you're not. I've heard what the kid had to say. What do you think, Ken? That info. I'm not sure, Chief. Apparently neither the sheriff nor Leanne is behind all this. Who is it then? Can this punk be the boss here? You are the sheriff. How do we make sure they're safe? Regardless of whatever the fuck you think, we don't have a choice. If you call the police, these kids will end up on juvie or walkways. I would say the latter. You're going to leave them alone in Low City? They'll be much worse off than here. Kids smell cheeky. Unless you want to take them in and raise them. No? Well, fine. I know how to take care of them. I promised Nanette I'd leave this to her. I'm going to keep my word. But... You are a horrible, horrible person who is abusing the system that is set up here. I really wish now that I had let Ken punch you in the face. I mean, I don't advocate child abuse, that is horrible. But I'm not sure you're a child. Even if you are one. Even if you are physically one. I'm going to keep my word. Mr. Sitkin will take care of this, children. This will be for the best. Right. Now we're taken care of. I was starting to feel like a hero, but then I realised that I don't know anything about kids. Good call. Right, Chief. I'll sense them and take care of everything. And opened a private window and chose a number. His lips started to move, but I couldn't hear anything. He had headed for the exit. Where do you think you're going, punk? You're the one responsible for this mess. So what, I'm a minder. You wouldn't do anything to a miner, would you? Yes. The reason you're a miner, the reason we don't punish miners, is usually because they don't understand what they're doing. You, however, absolutely did. So, I think you get punished. How about we fuck him up anyway, Chief? Introducing the holy punishing hand of justice. I'm itching to beat the crap out of him. Sleeves is just shoot the kid. Wow. Wow. I don't know that I can turn you into the police because you're a minor, so you won't take anything. Also, there'll be nothing to charge you with because we're not telling anybody what's going on. I cannot let you run away. You need to face some sort of justice. Which leaves this as the only option. Alright, kid, you're going to age really quickly and die horribly, just like all these other kids you have been forcing to do that. Kid, you like using speedboats and don't give a fuck with accelerated aging, right? You won't mind experiencing it yourself then. I'll trap you in a cheat like that, and the kids will decide when to turn it off. Please no, they're clueless. It'll kill me. Don't worry, punk. You wanted to be an adult? This will help. If someone takes pity on you and gets you up, you can run a real business, not a shithole like this. Say, I know, an old folks home? Yeah. You are done. What? He's willingly getting on the couch so that we can trap him in this... Oh, well, fine, whatever. Crates. Crates in the office appeared the same as the ones downstairs. Most of them weren't open. Some of them I could see shipping details. Yeah, let's get the information. Scan the chips on several random crates. It was charity. The Net Foundation donated them to the Net Gardens free of charge. Judging from the delivery dates, it was common practice. They were always connected by Mr. Smart. Someone else would handle this. There was an ancient computer on the desk. Turn it on. Wondered what he had on his computer. He was deleting stuff. There was nothing on it. Not even an operating system. Kid had deleted everything. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Maybe we're not going to get the... Wherever this was leading to, but hey, we did it. Will it be fine from now on? We won't get locked out anymore? Can we still play together? They're going to kick us out of here? They aren't, right? I mean, yes, they are. What will happen to us now? Why do you use Stanley and then Tom? I don't understand. And if... Why did you choose Stanley? Oh. Stanley is not the name to choose. Who's going to take care of us now? You won't leave us alone, will you? Yeah, I'm going to get out of here, and Annette's going to come over. The person who was running this, who thought she was paying for a good place, will be here to take care. No, we'll take care of her. Huh? You remember her? You can start talking over one another. Cries of joy mingled with words of astonishment. Can we stay together here? Can we see other games and not get logged out anymore? What if they separate us and ban us from playing? Kids always told us what to do. What do we do now? Yep. Dun 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 dun. Vox Populi. Convince them it will be great, even if it won't. The fate of the mistreated, degraded, and oppressed has always been dear to me. Trust me. You will be a lot better now. You can play together. You'll have more time, and you won't get disconnected anymore. And the reason you were getting disconnected is because you were having shitty vitamins and not enough great game pills. That will be corrected. Are you sure? I'm sure. Above all, you will feel better. You'll live in a nice place, play more safely, and have more fun. So cool! The voice brightened. Thank you! That's so cool. Thank you, Gamedec. Maybe it really will be cool? Very cool indeed. We did quite well. We should wait for somebody to take over here, and then we need to talk. Celebrate our success, analyze our mistakes, and discuss what to do next. All meeting at your place, Chief? 8 o'clock sharp? You don't get to invite yourself to my place. You get to suggest it, and then I can go, yeah, nice, good place to meet. But you don't get to do it. Press any key to continue. And then we're in here. Oh, hey, Bliss! Good evening, you two. Welcome home. The time is perfect. Temperature normal. The time is perfect. Temperature normal. Kent, meet Bliss. She's my major domo. She's cool, Chief. Hi there, translucent. Now, Ken's out. A good bass player and one of the few players in the world who can play for 15 seconds at the 19th level of pain. He's been the most efficient attacker for the last 2 seasons. Ken looked at me, content. She knows everything about me. Intellect, personality. Great choice, Chief. Offer a drink. I mean, I didn't get a choice. It was just the one that came default with the game. Apartment, whatever. Would you like something to drink? Sure. What should we have? I got a point of blue. And a point of red? Alright, okay. Still can't take any of these because we don't meet the requirements. Still shy a yellow no matter what. I'm probably a green to get a scalpel. I drink whiskey. You should try some. Whiskey? Yeah, we should rinse our neurons. After what happened, we need to rinse our neurons after what happened in Mushroom City, Underlow. Or Mushroom Underlow City. Let's focus on our next investigation. Did you notice I said, Chief? Yeah, I'm an investigator. I notice those things. Did you know there's 2 trippy girls in TMP? Once we were chatting up people, they seemed strange, so I talked to them. Yeah, I talked to them as well. They were the same as the other ones in Harvest Time. Turned out they were recruiting people into a clan in a different game. Wait, it gets better. The clan believes in some crazy ass stuff. Also obsessed with the number 314. I think they're a cult. So you see, he looked at me as though he was waiting for a question. What do you know about the number 314? What's the deal with them and the number 314? I feel like I've heard something about it before. I suppose it could be 3.14 for pi. First I thought it was just a reference to the number pi. Exactly, yeah. But there's more to it, Chief. I gotta say, it gives me the creep. And it's like, whenever I see this number or even hear anything about it, something happens. Don't fucking laugh at me. Say they let them work him up. No, talk about it, man. Tell me. I'm not. Don't dismiss it. You're feeling something. That's a fact. No, you're feeling something. That's your guts. It might be your emotions, but it might be something else. Worth investigating, right? That's what I thought. Because, you know, Chief, I kind of believe there might be something mystical going on here. It's like, when I see 314, it feels like a sign that was put there especially for me. Like I'm special. Strange, isn't it? What if the clan knows I'm interested in them, and they're reprogramming my walk tail, my lenses? Worth investigating. Alright. Why? Why did this pique your interest? Why did you become interested in them? During the game, you know, when I range quit, those fucking trolls weren't the only thing I saw in that space rip. There was also a tree. I mean, what the fuck was that? I heard about this clan worships a tree of knowing? Thinking it might help me understand. Did some online research, and it turns out the sacred tree of knowing looks exactly like the one I saw during the game. That's my lead, Chief. My lead to finding the fuckers that ruined my career. Okay, I mean it's an artifact in lots of games, but okay. Tell me more about the Tree of Knowing. I've found out something briefly about it. What is it? Well, I'm not sure yet, but I'm really interested in finding out. You see, this goddamn tree is what somebody used to destroy my career. Yeah, they're never specific about the tree. It's some kind of artifact. Apparently, it only appears once in a while. It's a big deal to them. They say the tree gives them truth and inspiration, and sends some signal things. Kinda seems like they get high a lot. Suspicious, eh? Anybody hire you for this? Anybody hire you for this investigation? Not really. I'm working on my own. I mean, I know you are because you're trying to do the one which got you kicked out. When the Gamedec get hired, discuss their remuneration with their client, and only then begin their investigation, right? This one's an exception. Well, the second exception. The first was Harvest Time. I tried myself to find out who killed My career. Somebody got to find the culprit. Are you in, Chief? You know, I am intrigued by it as well. Yeah, I'm in. Oh, blue. Alright. Might be a bit too difficult for you to handle on your own. That's not what I was thinking. What was the new aspect? What popped up there? Nothing? Alright, so I could immediately get sleeves. So that I could go down the aggressive route, but I don't really see the next character as that. So we're going to save and get another point of empathetic type stuff. Listening, empathy. How have I not got a point of empathy yet? Yeah, we'll go scalpel. Alright, this might be too difficult for you to handle on your own. Awesome. We'll be like a Goodabaz team, but in Realium. All the other games in the world. Help Ken with the investigation. Help Ken with the investigation. Alright, I guess I can have that. You got more about the clan? They're called the On Clan, apparently. On means book. It's their emblem. A book in front of a tree. They play MMOs, keep talking about meditation, observations and stuff like that. Even more than about fighting and terrorists. Oh, territories, sorry. I mean, you know, Chief, when they fight for real. They know how to play. As soon as these girls realised I had money, they told me I was special and that my spiritual path leads to the clan. Suspicious, huh? A bit. Enough about the clan, Ken. Oh. I mean, I want to stop and save this. But, you know, I guess I cannot end the conversation without ending the thing, and I can't save. So, let's talk about the latest case. Let's do that. We've done your first detective case. You should be proud of yourself, Ken. Chief, it was amazing. I felt like I'm king of the world. I think we should always work together. Ken finished talking before I managed to get in. No problem, Chief. That's why we're a team. We always... What? No problem, Chief. That's why we're a team. Together we're even more awesome than when we're separate. But I don't understand how that fits together, but alright. Hey! Look at my exciting toy here. You like it? Do you like my bliss? Go on, ask her a question. Right, Bliss, what's more real? Matter or information? Matter is a catch-all that describes an illusion. Reality is an emanation of mathematical rules. Particles are mathematical. It's all information. Ken put his hand around his head, widening his eye, and pretending that his skull was exploding. Jeez, brilliant. Talk about your work. Yeah. Listen, I see this whole Gamedec thing's really interests you. Would you like to hear more about this job? Sure, Chief. I'm all ears. I guess I'll listen too. Thank you, Blaze. Well, it has no benefits, really. No pension, no vacation, no sick leave. When there's work, you make money. When there isn't, you starve. Sounds wonderful! That's because you're young, but sure, have a go at it. Just remember what I told you, because what seems wonderful at first might turn out to be a completely different kind of wonder. But it's better to try and find out, I guess. Thanks, Bliss. Are you... Have I said that before? Yeah, something like that. Alright. How was your esports career? What's it like being an esports player? As in a good or bad player? Well, you need to be a bit of a masochist. When the pain is at 10, it's like being operated on without anesthesia. At 15, some players start tripping, when the endorphins kick in. I can go as far as 19. It's hard to describe. Heaven? Hell? Both at once? I say, Peter, crash kites can go up to 20 thanks to meditation. And some other wizardry. Me, I like to feel everything. It turns him on. I can't say that's wrong. I mean, I don't know that it's right to do that in public, where everybody else can watch you, but maybe? You know yourself real well. Seem to know yourself pretty well, kiddo. You're honest. It's impressive. You can lie to others, but not to yourself. No, no, no. You can absolutely lie to yourself. Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. And then end the conversation. Not sure if I can drive my new mobile after all this. Oh. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Alright, yeah, you can crash here. You can stay here for the night, Ken. That'd be cool. New career, new lifestyle. I'm ready for a new level of awesomeness and new experiences. You get the couch. Telling you, Chief, this might be the first time we're celebrating a finished case. But many more to come. I just know it. Just like I knew, I mean really knew, Chief, that tonight I'd end up on this comfy sofa. Ken was talking before I managed to cut in. On this comfy sofa. So I turn on the guest settings. On this comfy sofa. Can't finish manage. That doesn't make sense. That's a looped dialogue. Sorry, Ken. Don't sleep with my business partners on the first day. Alright. With a new day come new challenges. Ken wanted to meet and talk about the case. We hadn't discussed the time and place, though. Alright, let's ask Bliss. New objective. Contacting Ken. Speak to Bliss. Yeah. Alright, we got a point. Yay! There we are. Alright, and finally, we can save the game and be ready for this tomorrow. Because yes, continuing on with more exciting game deck tomorrow. No, why is that saying harvest time? Oh, I guess I haven't started the other case quite just yet. So yes, this will be continuing tomorrow. Tomorrow being the end of September. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't think we're going to... No, we didn't get a text from Ken. We are ignoring that. Anyway, yes, I don't know what I'm going to do, because October I wanted to do Spooky Month. Yes? Some sort of horror games, or, I don't know, zombie, vampire, werewolf related sort of stuff. So this might just fall back into the regular Tuesday and Sunday slots. But, you know, I wanted to do a supernatural or horrible sort of a point and click adventure as well. Something which fit with a theme. So, I don't know. But definitely tomorrow we will be doing Gamedec. Until then, let me just say thank you all so very much for being here. Whether live and in person or later on the VOD, I do appreciate each and every one of you. I mean, the fact that you spend some of your limited time here with me is just... it's just amazing. It just is. But until the next time, I have been Richard. And this has been LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. And you all have fun now.